Welcome everybody to Snagging Grass and Catching Bass. I'm your host, Brian Likes to Fish. Oh my gosh, we got Brett Wilson, the champ on. The crankbaits have been on fire. We had Eric on a week or two ago and he was talking about it, but we got Brett on here to talk some crankbait fishing. Round 7 results, final round at LAOC. And guess what? We're going to show round 1 playoff matches too. So, it's going to be a good one. Let's get this show rolling.
My name is Chris, and I like watching Snagging Grass and Catching Bass. Brian Likes to Fish, always good to watch. Make sure you check them out. Cheers, guys.
Shoo. Let's go. Playoff time is here. I can't believe it. We just fished our final round up in there in LAOC, round 7. I hope everybody slayed it. Tonight, we're going to show the results on what we did. This is the round where we all got to pick our bay. Pretty exciting. So find out what, if you guys want, type in chat what bay you fished. I'm just curious. I fished Newport, but I'm just curious. I figured Newport would probably be pretty popular, but I'm not exactly sure what everybody fished. So type in chat what you fished. And if you want a shout out, type it in chat right now. Let's get some comments on the screen here. First in the, we got Acme 9537. I found out is Eric. What's up, Eric? Doing awesome this year. What's going on? Good to see you in chat. So we got Eric and I got HD Bates always in chat. Says snag. Good luck, everybody. If people are typing snags, that means they like it. Anthony, wow, dude. What a season, dude. Nice job, buddy. Check out Anthony's YouTube channel too. Anthony, what a season, man. I be surf fishing in the house. He says, snag, what's going on? Brian Rosen is in the house. Saw him in Newport. And Brian, you're my good luck charm. When he was talking to me, I was currently actively fishing and I got myself a biggin while he was talking to me. So thanks for bringing over that luck to me, Brian. HD Bates Masters in the house says, what's up, people? What's going on? Jared's in the house. Jared says, what's up, guys? Snag, what's up, Jared? Hope the whole Bretch family's watching. Micah says, snag, what's going on? We got Brian. Like the name, and I like the picture. Snag, what's up? Nick Livingston. Nick, also a great year. Nice job, dude. Says, snag, what's going on? We got Leonard Bay Creeper. Let's go. Haven't seen you forever, Leonard. Miss you, buddy. Hopefully I'll see you at the award ceremony. That's on August 1st. Mike Brown, what's up? Godfather of OCs in the house. Always catching big fish. We got Mel in the house. Man, we got so many people. Got 138 people in here right now. So I'm only gonna give so many here. We got Chet. What's up, Chet? You know, we got there's Leonard. What's up? Got so many people. I'm trying to go through all these names. We're gonna Crash the Fisherman, Slayer Extraordinaires in the house. What's going on? And we also got James Collins. I got an announcement about Milton's tackle tournament coming up in Weekly News. What's up, James? Thanks for tuning in. I'll give you that announcement during Weekly News. But let's go ahead and bring in my guest, and that is this guy right here, Brett Wilson. Oh, what's up? I always love having Brett on here. You're usually a guest I have on at least once or twice a year, just because guys, I get these guys on here, these slayers, to pump some information out of them. So that's what I'm here to do for you guys tonight. But if you have questions, Make sure you put them in chat. It's not every day you get a Masters LA champion on here, and you could see by Brett's scores if you follow our spreadsheet. Brett's been slaying this year, dude. So congratulations,
Trying,
Brett.
man. Trying.
Yeah, and
Been
you know what I
tied.
like about you, Brett, is like I remember when we first started Spotty Bowl. They're like, "Oh, how are you mixing boats and kayaks and float tubes and shore anglers? You know, it's not fair. It's all this stuff." And what I like about you is you're representing the float tubers. You're like, I don't need anything fancy. I go out there on my float tube. Not saying your float tube's not fancy, but you know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
show that you can have like any type of vessel and do very well in Spotty Bowl. And
Yep.
and props to you, dude. You must have iron legs, dude. That's all I gotta say. Out there kicking away.
Yeah. A lot of years doing it. It builds the length and the strength in the legs. So yeah.
I bet. Are you using like board fins, or do you actually have those like long? What type of fins are you using?
So they're like a cross. They're not bodyboarding fins, so they're not short, but they're not dive fins, so they're not super long. They're float tube fins, like they're made for float tubing. So they're I don't know. I could go grab one if you want, but it's just a regular fin. It's not anything like a dive fin or anything like that, but it's still long.
Dude, I bought some snorkeling fins when I went to Hawaii this summer or last summer. And man, you get those long fins, dude. Cramp City, dude. I'm like, what? Because it's like so much pressure on your foot, man. Those things are gnarly if you're not used to them. Yeah, that's cool. So, hold on, we got some questions here. What's this all about? What do you mean? What's this all about? It's about Spotty Bowl, spotty fishing, bay fishing,
Who
calico
said that?
fishing. I think he's just joking.
Oh, I thought that was James.
No, it was David. What's up, David? I'm glad to have you in here. I don't recognize your name, but I see the picture of you holding a fish. So if you're into fishing and you're into bay fishing, that's specifically kind of what we talk about. We talk about all kinds of stuff on here. Let's talk about your float tube a little bit. So I have a float tube, but I've probably got about 10 minutes of seat time in it. Somebody gave it to me, and I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I would love to go out with you one day. Float tubing.
Yeah. I mean, I started off from the old float tubes. I never got a donut, so I didn't venture off into that when I was younger. I went straight to a U shape. It was an old caddis, but those ones back then, I mean, you're fully in the water. You're always up to almost belly button in those float tubes. It wasn't until probably 2016, 2015 is when I finally got a fish cat. So a fish cat was a big upgrade because you were actually elevated out of the water to where, I don't know, you're probably just above your shin is how deep you were, like just enough for your feet to be under and kick. So that was gold back then. And then
so the only thing that's in the water really is like knee down.
Yeah, I would say from like just below, in between the shin and the knee, that's all that's in the water.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I mean, but back then I was fully all the way up to my belly button. Sometimes the float tube would deflate a little bit, and you were like above your belly button. It was a little sketchy, but it felt good for the most part. Yeah. I always trunked unless it was during the wintertime.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So tell me about okay, so for us in kayaks and boats and shore, we kind of have a A and a B spot we go to. So on your float tube, are you launching and then fishing for like 2 hours, then launching somewhere else and fishing for 2 hours? How is your routine on a float tube? For anybody that's interested that has a float tube, it's like, you know, how do you, I don't know how to say it. Like Alamitos Bay, let's take that for example. Do you ever leave the water to get to a spot? Or are you literally like Brett Wilson, like swimming all the way across it? How does your routine work?
So it depends. It varies on if I'm tournament fishing or if I'm fun fishing, because I mean, in a tournament, you're in a time frame, so you kind of gotta strategize like where you want to go, where you want to fish, and how you're gonna effectively fish that without having to get in and out of the water and stuff like that. But I would just say for people that just want to fun fish, I mean, just set aside the time that you're gonna take to go fun fish, and just look at the bay on a map that you're gonna go fish, and just pick out places that have like a sand beach that you can just launch from. Because with a float tube, it's so easy. You just can park anywhere you want and then just walk your float tube. It's not that heavy. And you can just launch wherever you want. Honestly, just launch out, fish wherever you want, but just know where you parked, because you can get lost and like end up just fishing all around. And then by the time you're tired, you're like, oh shoot, I'm way over here. So you kind of want to plan it out, most bays have or like are in like a enclosed area, so like it's kind of shaped like a circle, sort of say, if you want to look at it like that. So you kind of want to plan it out like, hey, I'm gonna fish here, and I don't recommend it, but I drop my stuff off where I'm gonna start to fish, and then I'll go park my car where I think I'm gonna end. And so that way when I'm
Oh,
done, I
that's
just
smart.
get out right there. Yeah. So, but like I said, if you're fun fishing, I would just go out and just fish wherever you can. Get the experience of kicking for a while, because there's going to be times where you need to kick for a while, and that's how you're going to build your stamina, and that way that's never going to be an issue for you later on in the future. But yeah, I would just plan on parking somewhere and just launching, just fishing around that area, and if need be, you can always get out. Like, it's not that hard to get out, put your stuff back in the car and go drive somewhere else. It's really not that hard.
Like for shore division, I'll start at my A spot and fish there maybe an hour or maybe less. If it's not, I'll actually get in the car and I'll go somewhere else. I'll get on my bike. Now that I've figured it out to like move around, I try to move around as much as I can, because
Yeah.
when you find them, you find them. It seems like.
Yeah, and that's why I said like it's different for tournament fishing versus fun fishing, because obviously
Yeah,
when
and
you're
I'm
fun
talking
fishing,
tournament fishing, of course, because all
yeah,
these spotty bowlers are in here.
exactly.
All right,
When you're fun fishing, it's not that big of a deal. But tournament fishing, yeah, you want to cover as much water as you can.
I'm gonna go through the chat here real quick, Brett, because I see somebody in here who I haven't seen a name. What's up, Ben? Ben says, "What are you
Hey,
drinking, Brett?"
I am drinking one of his rice loggers right now.
Ooh,
Really, really good. We got a 2-day championship for SBS coming up this weekend, and he's actually donating like 20 or so beers for me to take to the award ceremony. So we're gonna have rice lager on deck for that for this coming
yeah.
weekend. Yeah,
How come Ben's not fishing this year? What
because
happened?
he's doing too much of this. He wants
Too much.
to. He wants to.
Well, hopefully, Ben, you'll be back next year and shred it up like you did the first year. So,
Heck yeah.
James Collins says Brett catches fish. Yeah, yeah, we all know that. All right, here
I
we go.
try.
First question from Chet. What's Brett's favorite rod and reel setup? All right, here we go. And let's get into the meat of this. So, in a minute, me and Brett are going to start talking about some crankbaits. But yeah, let's talk about the gear you're using out there first.
Yeah, so the rod and reel, pretty basic. I use anywhere from a 150 to a 200 size reel. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I like to fish everything, whatever I want, whenever I want. But I have bought in Shimano, and I've used Shimano stuff ever since I was a kid. So I've kind of stayed towards that. But I've had Daiwa, Okuma, um, Quantum, Abu Garcia, Penn. I've had all this stuff, but Shimano's my main go-to. So for that stuff, Bates is actually really good too, by the way. I have a couple of those, but
What
Shimano, I use
reel
it.
did you say? Baits?
Yeah, Bates reels. I use one Bates and
Baits? Is that what you
one
said?
Shimano.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
got it.
150 size,
You want to give
200
a
size
specific
reels.
model on your Shimano?
Yeah, Tranks is
Are
for
you
the
using the
salt.
Tranks, the SLX Tranks?
Yeah, yeah, Tranks.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Tranks. They're nice reels.
Yeah, really, really nice, real sturdy. They last for a while. I mean, I maintain mine. When I was younger, I would just let them like get all salt corroded, and I wouldn't really care about them. But as I've gotten older, I've taken good care of my stuff. So Shimano's good. Baits are really strong. I've had no complaints about those. I've had them for years. So I use those size reels, those reels in particular. And then for my rods, I like a moderate fast. Nothing real sharp. I don't like an extra fast or a fast. I like a little bit of give on the tip, and I like it to come all the way down parabolic. I like real parabolic rods. For crankbaiting, I can get into detail about like other types of lures and stuff and different rods, but since we're going to talk about crankbaits, I'm talking mainly about crankbaits. But yeah, real light rods, super whippy, super giving. Just because I'm using treble hooks, so
Yeah.
when I'm fishing a crankbait, or when you're fishing a crankbait, you're just reeling in. So when the fish hits it, more than likely those two treble hooks are going to set themselves. You don't need to horse it. You don't need to set the hook on a crankbait, because you're just going to rip it out. So the rod that I like to use will give when the fish hits, and I just keep reeling. It's almost like surface iron fishing. You just reel into it,
Right.
and then you just got to keep pressure on it. You never want that rod. I always say this: you always want the rod bent. You never want the rod to give out. You always
Oh
want the
yeah.
rod bent, and you always want tension on it.
I told that
Um,
horror story last week about losing my big fish, where it was going one direction, and for that split second, when you have to swing your rod, kind of like pull them a different direction,
yeah,
and all it took was me fighting the fish, going, and then the fish was kind of going a direction I didn't want to go, so I had to swing my rod to the left, and just
Oh
that
no.
little bit of swing, dude, gone. I'm like,
Yeah. It's
total rookie mistake.
the littlest things that will make the hook or something just foul up and it'll come out. But
Yeah, because the spotties, when you first hook them, that's like, I'm sure you would say too, that's like the whole fight is like in the first 10 seconds, not even that, probably 5 seconds. Once you kind of get them out of their zone, you get them up
yeah.
off the bottom, usually you can get them. Although when you get up to the up high, when you can see color, when you can see that thing in there, you see that thing going nuts and you're like, oh gosh, don't come off. And
Yep.
then if you're going to grab your net or you're bouncing it, that's a critical moment right there too.
I was about to say when you said the first 5-10 seconds, I was gonna say the same thing, but it's also the last 10 seconds. Like you
Yeah.
got to make sure that you can never really like take a breather. You always want to stay on top of it, but you want to hook the fish. So there's your first 5-10 seconds. Hook the fish, get a good hook set on it. Then you're gonna just gradually fight it. But once it gets to like color or where you could see it, that's the moment of truth. Because honestly, I'll tell you this: we all can fish spotties. We're all good fishermen. It's all about execution. And that's the thing over the years that you kind of develop and you learn over the years is execution. Like get like you said, that simple thing of you just moving your rod direction, bam, costs you a fish.
That's
It's
it.
little things like that. Execution is so important. Getting the fish in the net, in the boat, in your hands is the hardest part. That's the hardest part.
Are you a bouncer? Are you a netter? I guess you're
I
not bouncing it.
yeah.
That would be pretty impressive.
So I have a net with my float tube. I will use it on good fish that I can see right away, but for the most part, I try to just like feather them in, try to get them as close as I can, and kind of use my legs. I just bring them right in between my legs,
Oh,
and
that's
I use
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that yeah, it's pretty cool because in your kayak, you have to sometimes reach down and pull the reverse or switch the
yep,
reverse. And that, dude, like Brett said, if it's a split second that if you'd
yep,
get distracted, I notice when I'm fishing largemouth guys, like you hook a largemouth, say like on a Senko, and it's pulling and pulling, and they just sit there and they let it pull. You know what I mean? Like okay, let's wear it out. With spotty
yeah,
guys, the second you hit, no matter if it's pull and drag or what, you're cranking that handle. You're just like, it's like you
yeah,
can't help yourself. You're because the fight's so short. You're just like hook, crank, 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 crank. It's pulling, drag the opposite direction, but you're still going. And you're just trying to gain that line on them. But
yeah,
spotty fishing's pretty intense. They have a good. I think that's why we like spotty so much, is because it's not a huge fish. I'll admit it. It's like if you get a huge 2 pounder, that's like huge. 3 pounder is obscene, but
yeah,
because when I talk to people about fishing spotters, like, oh, those are little fish in the bay. I'm like, they are, but we're fishing this lightweight gear, and you've never felt a fish that's like so aggressive. Like, come up, just hit that bait, turn its head, take off. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
oh yeah,
It's just so much fun, that fish. I know, but everybody I talk to in the bass community is like, oh, those little fish in the bay. I'm like, dude, there's a whole community of us that love that dang
there's a
fish. I'll
lot of
tell you that.
us.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of us.
Let me get to a couple questions here for you, Brett. Question: do you feel like from the judge? Do you feel like an advantage on a float tube over a kayak? I think we've had this discussion before, but how do
Yeah,
you feel like a float tube stacks up against like a boat or a kayak or a float tube?
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat it, but yeah, there's an advantage to having a float tube, but then there's an advantage of having a kayak. There's an
Oh
advantage of
yeah,
having a boat. There's certain advantages that you can utilize to your benefit. And the thing about float tubing is it's cost efficient. So it's not like I'll just put it like this. A lot of people, I'll just say majority of the people can afford a $200 float tube.
right.
Not the majority of people can afford a $3,000 kayak or $6,000 boat or a $10,000 boat. So to me, I think that the advantage would go towards the people that can afford things versus the people that can't. But then there is advantages with the float too because I can get into places that not a lot of boats or kayaks can get into. I would say the kayak is probably the best middle ground because you can get into real tight spots with a kayak and you can cover water with a kayak. So I don't know. They're to each their own, but I would say there's an advantage for everything, and it's just how you utilize it. Like what is it that makes it good for you? So
Do you think
um
by having a float tube, it like when you're picking apart a zone, since you're like in the water, feeling what's going on, and you can take your time. Like a kayak, you're usually like pedaling and drifting and fishing and pedaling, drifting. You know what I mean? But a
yeah.
kayak, it seems like you can pick apart a zone really good. Like that would
Oh
be
yeah.
an advantage I would think of.
Yeah, so I have that advantage of being able to fish slow and methodically, and just kind of staying, like you said, in just a small window. Like when it gets real windy, I can use my feet to still position myself exactly where I want. Whereas in a boat, when it gets windy, this, it's a little difficult. But
Yeah, especially if you don't
I
have a
would just
spot lock. You don't have a spot lock,
yeah,
the boat is
and that's
not the
what I was
place
going
to
to bring
be.
up is nowadays in a kayak, how you're just saying, oh, you're drifting and you're going your power. Well, in a kayak, you can have spot lock too.
That's true.
So and honestly, there's a lot of things that you can learn over time. Like you can tie your kayak up to a dock. If you want to at the end of a dock and fish it long ways along 6, 7 docks, you can do that and you're not moving anywhere. Same thing in my
Mm.
float tube. I can tie it to a mooring can and stay right where I want to be and make 5 or 6 casts in a zone and then untie myself and then float down with the current and go to the next one. You could do that in a kayak, no problem. So there's a lot of things that you can do and you can learn over time. But I would definitely say in a float tube, it is a lot easier to pick apart stuff. So that is a big advantage in a float tube is you can pick apart stuff, you fish slower, and you can get in real tight areas. I mean, real tight areas. So yeah.
You guys out there that have float tubes or thinking on the fence of floating Spotty Bowl, don't worry because we don't have a float tube category. I think, like Brett said, there's pros and cons. A boat, I would say, my probably biggest pro I have on the boat is I can bounce fish and just flop them on the deck. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about them bouncing out, and that's probably a big pro. Huge con though is it's a boat. You can only go so many spots, and especially when it's windy.
Yeah.
And if you guys are saying, oh, Brian's probably going 60 miles an hour, almost all the bays we fish are 5 mile an hour zones. I don't think there's a bay in LA, right? That's not 5 mile an hour. The only bay I know
unless you
of is
count Long Beach Harbor,
which we
like
don't fish.
yeah,
So
which we don't fish. So yeah, there's no bay
everywhere
that
is
we
5 miles an hour. So
Yeah.
there's really no, I mean, I guess I'm not exerting my legs, you know what I mean? Paddling like you and kayakers, but it's 5 miles an hour everywhere but San Diego Bay, and we have a 5 mile an hour speed limit in Spotty Bowl. So
Yeah.
all right, we got some more questions coming in here. We're gonna get to the crankbaits here, guys. What's up? Chad says, "Sup? Hub Shop is in here. Well, Hub Shop's watching you tonight, Brett. Oh, look who's in here. David Brown. What's up? He says landing is way part. Opening my phone with the wet. Yeah, opening the phone with the wet finger. Even worse is the slimy finger. That's
Carry
why
one of these with you.
the blue rag. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Even that though, by the end of the day, that thing's pretty rank.
Yeah, but
Because I'm on a boat, I have a full-on like bathroom towel, like bathroom towel.
beach towel.
And Brian Rosin was watching me because when I caught the fish, he was like right next to me. And my routine is I get my fish on the boat on the deck, and I lay it there, and then I swaddle it like a baby in the towel, so it's not like injuring itself, and it just kind of calms it down a little. And then I get my phone out, clean my hand, take it, get on the bump board and to the picture, take them out of the swaddle, and then chuck them back in. But
out of the swaddle.
yeah. I like doing that because the fish, it just kind of stays in there. It's just like, okay, what's going on here? All right, Corey King. What's up, Corey? Guys, you guys, Corey King. A huge round of applause and thank you for running the side pots this year. We've never had more side pots. We've never, Corey, guys, Corey takes this probably in our Spotty Bowl committee very seriously in what he does, and we appreciate him for that. And he does a ton of work behind the scenes, just like getting our Fast Lane awards ceremony. We also do that this week, and just everything that goes into the side pots. You can thank that guy right there for getting them, and you guys wouldn't have a lot of these side pots if it wasn't for him. So thank you so much, Corey. Appreciate you, buddy. But his question is, what is the secret to finding the big ones? Ooh.
It's just I don't know. There's not really a secret. It's just honestly about the amount of time you put on the water. Like I said, I don't fish with electronics. I don't go around and I see bait here on my screen. Yeah. I see something here. I just go off of history. So I've been fishing Alamitos, Newport, Huntington, not so much down south, but I've been fishing those bays for over 25 years. So it's like, I mean, I just know from history, and I just know from fishing it so much, the certain depths in certain areas by using certain lures. And I just base it off of what I visually see. So as far as like what's the secret to catching big fish, I would just say utilizing the time to get on the water. The more you're on the water, the better your chances are at catching bigger fish. And I don't know, there's certain areas in certain bays that hold big fish over the years. So you just key in on those certain areas. But then some years it changes and you got to go to a whole different part of the bay. And then you learn that section of the bay. And it's just all about learning throughout the years. And you just start to put the pieces to the puzzle pretty much. So
I know
that's the
you would
best
say
answer I can
something
give.
like seasonal too, like wintertime for me and summertime for me, and maybe the springtime we're in now. It's kind of. I
I
mean,
think it's all year,
I think when you
honestly.
find out they're like, oh, I'm just saying, if you find out they're in the docks, maybe hit those docks. You find out they're in the grass. You find out in the rocks.
Yeah.
When you find, I don't know how to say it, but when you find the fish's zone, if
The
they're in
clue.
shallow, if they're in deeper, if they're in a channel, usually try to find zones that are similar to that and fish those zones. When I say zones, I'm talking riprap rock, I'm talking drop off structures, docks, grass, whatever you can find. If you find fish in 4 feet of water, guess what? They might be in 4 feet around the whole bay. So maybe
Yep.
keep hitting those type of zones.
And
You
if you're
got a lot
catching
of
them that
questions.
shallow, and you're catching them that shallow, and you notice that where you're catching them that shallow, the water is dirty, then just
Yeah,
go find dirty water. I mean, it's little things
dude.
like that. Like you'll start to put the pieces to the puzzle.
Guys, he just gave you probably one of the best spotty hints that I've heard in a long time. Is the water quality. Like, I don't know if you noticed at Newport, but Newport, they're
Dirty.
dredging it, and Newport, some of the water from that when they're doing that dredging is like chocolate milk because they're like
Yep.
stirring it up and the current's pulling it in or out. So, and you have a close eye of what's going on in that water. You're like you're literally in it. You probably look down and at your foot, and if you can't see your foot, you're like, oh, it's super cloudy. Or if you can see all the way to the bottom, you're like, oh, this is crystal clear. So
Yeah.
that is a huge key, guys. I'm gonna tell you is water. And
words
you
of
probably
advice. Words of advice. If it is dirty, fish shallow. That's all I gotta say. I mean, you can fish deep.
dude,
Don't
he's
get me wrong.
giving
Fish
it
wherever you
up.
want, but go fish shallow when the water's dirty and there's 2 feet. You'll catch 2-pound spotties in. So it's never too shallow.
Here, this is a hint this is what I learned from shore because I've been doing the shore division for like 5 years. When you're in shore, you're like, okay, here I go. I'm going to cast this thing as far as I can, right? You're launching from shore. You're trying to get out into the halfway across the bay, right? I'm reeling it in, and where I get my hit is like 5 feet off the shoreline a lot of times. So
Yeah.
those fish sometimes will just, they're literally, if there's rocks, they'll be in a hole in the rock. And when you're coming up on that in the shore division, a lot of my fish I catch are just, they're right there in front of you, right there. So
Yeah.
don't always think when you're fishing shore division that you need to be halfway across the bay in order to get a fish out there. They're sometimes right in front of you. All right, Brett. Those are some awesome tips. Keep the questions coming, guys, but we're going to go ahead and move on to the conversation of crankbaits. So I had Eric on who talked about some crankbait hints last week. I've seen guys like Anthony this year shred it on the crankbait. Davey Brown doing crazy on the crankbait. There's a lot of crankbait guys out there. I'm probably missing some of you guys, but I'm drawing a blank here. So the crankbait game this year, to me, besides you've always been a good crankbait guy. Maybe Brian Rosin's a crankbait guy, and Chet, I think, Sammy. I don't know. All you guys up there, a lot of you have worked that in. I think that's a lot of your doing, seeing your success, and we know that that's one of your favorite baits. And I am not a big crankbait fisherman, but let me show you something. Sorry, it's taking a minute. I think I'm gonna go all in, Brett. I have scoured, and I have got myself like a collection of advice from people I've had on my show, listening to you, and I've got it. And on my off season of Spotty Bowl, I'm gonna put some time on this bait because I see the success that everybody's having. So I'm gonna get there. I'm not a good crankbait fisherman, but I'm gonna get there because I see what it can do, and I think in the spotty world, that's a good bait. So
it is.
All right, let's go to the first question about crankbait. I think we might. Let's go to HB Vassar. What is a crankbait for shore, square bill jerkbait, or standard crankbait? Are you shore angler?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I grew up fishing the shore. That's all I ever did was fish the shore. I was dock hopping and walking the shore back in 2003, 2002.
So his question is, what is the best crankbait from shore? What would you recommend? A square bill jerkbait, a standard crank? What would you, Brett Wilson, young Brett Wilson, what were you throwing out there?
Again, it's all dependent on where you're fishing. That's the main thing. All the bays are very different, but also very similar. So Over time, you start to figure out like, oh, this section of docks are deeper because my crankbait's not touching the bottom, or this area, man, my crankbait's touching the bottom as soon as I do 4 cranks on the reel. So you start to figure out like what's shallow, what's deep. But I will say, I don't know, 99, I'm not going to say 100, but 99% of the time, if you're fishing from shore, you're usually coming uphill, meaning that where you're standing is shallow, but as you cast out, it gets deeper. So you're always bringing your crankbait uphill is what we call it. And sometimes the fish are positioned a certain way to where they're looking for that because they're sitting on a ledge or something like that. So their eyes are locked in on a ledge or looking at that. And so you're going to want to use you're going to want to use a floating crankbait, because then that way you can pause it. Once you do feel the bottom, you'll see it, you'll let it rise up, and sometimes that's when the fish will hit it. But you always want to kind of maintain the bottom unless you're fishing rock or grass, then you kind of want to finesse it. And when people talk about crankbaiting, they're like, oh yeah, or people think all you do is just reel, reel, reel. Yeah, you reel, 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 but you also, once you feel the bottom or the structure, that's when you start to really play with it. And that's when you start to really fine tune how to fish a crankbait. It's all cadence, but you're just going to want to reel that crankbait in at a certain speed, and you're going to want to pause it every now and then, and you're going to want to just imagine what you're fishing on the bottom and just kind of be like, oh, there's a rock, so I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to burn right past it and think, oh, there's going to be a fish somewhere. And just always watch your line, because your line will twitch when you pause it, and that's a bite. That's the fish literally sucking the bait in, and the lure hitting the back of the fish's mouth. That's what's making your line pop. But yeah, when you're fishing from shore, you just want to use something that is like a medium depth, I would say, because eventually it's going to hit the bottom. It might not hit the bottom when you throw it way out there because it's 20 feet deep, but then by the time you get to 12, 13 feet, you're going to start feeling the bottom. And then that's when you can really play with it and do that. So I would say all those options are good from shore, honestly. A jerkbait's good, a square bill's good, and a regular crankbait's good. It just all depends on where you're fishing at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
So, Brett, if you're on your float tube, you're casting towards shore,
Mhm.
and there's a dock next to you with a pylon at the end.
Yep.
You're casting it, you're hitting the bottom, you're cranking it, and when you think you're near that pylon, do you pause it?
Yep. And I position myself to where I'm not right on the piling. The piling's not going to be 5 feet from me. I'm going to make sure I'm about 10, 15 feet back behind the piling. So that way I can make one, a longer cast. And two, I'm going to get it down to the bottom where I think that piling, it's going to hit the bottom close to
Oh,
or before that
bullseye it.
piling.
You know, try to
Yeah.
bullseye. Like, so if you're envisioning a crankbait is coming, like here's a pylon, you want it to come down right at the pylon. That's when it
Yeah.
hits the bottom.
Or before it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I watch
But
Anthony's videos lately, and I see him. He's like, I'm just going to demonstrate this my reel. He's like, crank, 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 pause, crank, crank,
yep.
crank, pause, crank, crank, pause. He's like
Yeah.
erratically. Is that kind of the same thing you do with your crankbaits, like
Yeah.
cranking and pausing and cranking and
Yeah.
pausing?
Yeah, you want to crank a lot. Like I said, depending on where you're fishing, I'm explaining this based off of a float tube. So I'm already out in 15, 20 feet. Let's just say that. I'm gonna bomb a cast, and I'm gonna wind that thing as fast as I can and swing with my rod to try to get that crankbait to get down to the depth that I want it to be at. And once I feel the bottom, that's when I'll start to do the dancing with it, like the crank it 3 times, stop, crank it 4 times, stop, crank it once, pause, once, pause, once, pause. Just random. There's no, you could do a rhythm if you want just to have fun with it, but it's just random. I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing at the times that I'm doing it, but yeah, you want to get it to the bottom and then play with it.
Do you ever like midway let it float up 5 feet and come back down, hoping they'll get
Ah,
it when it's hoping to get it sort of like a long pause? You know what I mean? Like a
no, I haven't done a
no like
long
5 second
pause.
pauses.
No, not super long. I mean, the longest I'll pause is maybe 3 seconds, but it's quick pauses. I want it to. I'm thinking that the fish is following it while I'm reeling it in, and then I'm gonna pause it, and then that change of direction of me pausing it and going back is gonna create the reaction bite.
Let's get some questions going here. Any lures that are disadvantaged to cast being low in the water on your tube? Also, any advantages when casting being lower on the water? So I guess kayaks are pretty low. You sit pretty
Yeah.
low in the seat, but the float tube, like you said, you're like, I mean, part of your legs in the water. So, uh, what disadvantages and advantage do you think that has when casting?
I mean, with a crankbait, some of them they're not the heaviest of lures. I mean, there are some that are bigger that weigh a half ounce, 5/8 of an ounce, almost 3/4 of an ounce. But for the most part, I would say the disadvantage is that they get caught in the wind sometimes, and then you get backlash. I get it all the time. I'll cast and backlash a knot in my reel. My crankbait will snap off. I'll have to go get it.
Ugh.
And yeah, I mean, that just always kind of happens. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. But I would say the disadvantage of casting, I guess, being low to the water is I honestly don't know. I would just say that sometimes your cast lobs up in the air and gets caught in the wind. Um, but I guess is an advantage of it being low to the water would be like spot casting, like very specific. If I was flipping and wanting to cover water and I wanted to just target holes into a dock or pilings or in between a dock and a boat, I guess my advantage is like I'm low and I can just kind of snipe it right where I want it to go. And like Eric mentioned when he was on, like he uses a short rod and you can just pinpoint your cast exactly where you want. I don't fish a short rod. Believe it or not, I still fish a 711, 710 rod in my float tube. That's just what I'm used to because I fish in a float tube and in a boat. So I just use the same stuff just so I'm comfortable with it. And I've always used that. So that's what I'm comfortable with. But I can see the advantages of using a short rod and the instances of like spot casting on pilings and flipping into like tight areas. But I just use my 710, 711 rods all across the board. So
And when Brett's talking about tight areas, we probably me and Brett have talked about this before. We don't really promote it, but sometimes you got to be really good at casting because we're casting down these narrow lanes a lot of the time, guys. So be respectful for the boats, but don't go in there if you're day one trying to cast between boats or cast at a dock in a little area where there's like a dock line coming down. You gotta put some time in the water to be like Brett, where you can kind of hit those little holes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Keep an eye on those dock lines, guys, because they seem like they're way far away, but sometimes, dude, you get caught on one of those, and it's either break off or you gotta upset somebody. All right, we got another question here, a really important one. Brett? What's your favorite crankbait? Show and tell. Do you have it?
Strike King 5XD. That's my favorite for the bays. I've got.
I have one of those too. I don't have it here.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know what kind of shad color this is, but it's got a little bit of a brown back on it. So it's got like a brown back on it.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of white, some chartreuse, and then the orange bottom. But it's all based off of confidence. To me, it's not really color specific. It's more so how I think it's the action of the crankbait. Every crankbait has a different action. I like the action on these, but sometimes color may be your confidence, and that's so be it. That if that works for you, awesome. And I heard in an old podcast, Nick from Lateral Vision talk about like, see how this one doesn't have any like metallic shine or anything like that. It's just straight paint. They make crankbaits that have like a really metallic shine on it, which I don't have any.
Like a foil design, right? Or like actually like a foil. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that, but I can see why that would work. I mean, this last weekend, there's balls of anchovy around me, and all you see is just them shining. So I don't see why a metallic crankbait wouldn't work. I just don't have any, but maybe something like that is the ticket. Something small and very specific might be the ticket to getting those fish to react. But for the most part, it's just always a bait fish color. And then you can always just throw in whatever you want, whatever confidence you feel, that's what you should go with. So just go, like I said,
Does this make you feel confident?
Yeah, just anything that makes.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna show you some colors real quick, Brett, and you tell me what you think. Would you fish this color, chartreuse, zebra?
Yes, I'd fish that in really dirty water.
All right, here we go. Here's like almost the identical one you showed, but it's like a shad color.
Yep, see-through ghost.
Here it seems to be like in Spotty Bowl, very popular. I don't know if this is called bone, but it's like a mild chartreuse, light on the bottom.
The top's good.
Yeah, I see that one. That one seems pretty popular. I don't know. I've grabbed a whole selection of what I got here. Got even this little guy that Eric recommended, which is like a brand is this? Blitz. You heard of Blitz?
No, I've never seen that, but that's a little guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little guy. So different sizes, different flavors. If you guys don't know, when you go to buy a crankbait, usually it has a depth what they dive on. You know, you can get shallower water ones, which are like the little square bill ones. Like this guy right here. I'm just gonna say the basics about crankbaits. That's all I really know. Like this is a little shallow square bill.
Yeah, fish those in the
you know this guy?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say square bills. You want to fish in grass. Those are your best friend in grass fishing.
And then you go to like other ones where they have this giant bill, guys. If you don't know anything about crankbaits, it seems like to me, Brett, the longer the bill, the deeper
Yeah.
the diver. So if you're looking for the deep diver ones, but look on the box, it'll tell you. So if you were going to buy one crankbait depth for, say, a Newport, are you looking at like the dredgers, which are like what, 17 feet? Or are you going for 12-foot ones? What exactly are you looking for when you're just getting
So
into crankbaiting?
yeah, if you're just getting into crankbaiting, depending on what bay you're fishing, I would just say as a general rule, you're more than likely going to be fishing anywhere from 12 to 14 feet. I would say, like, give or take, you're probably going to be in some spots that are going to be 8 foot, some spots that are going to be 18, but I would say the middle ground, 12 to 14, 12 to 15 feet. And in the dredger series specifically, they make so many that are like perfect for which depth you want to fish. That's why. So the dredger is a great crankbait because it covers almost all water columns, and they're actually really good right out of the package. Like, you rarely have to change any of the hardware on them, and they're pretty affordable. So if I were to pick a dredger, I would either pick the 17.5 or the 20.5. Those would cover you for pretty much everything you would need to crankbait in a bay for spotties.
Now, if okay, just a question here. If I just say, okay, I'm just going to buy the 20, and because that'll cover me, I just have to reel it slower, right,
Yep.
to keep it in the shallow. So if I'm just going to buy the 20, so I have a deep one, and I'll just slow it
Perfect.
down a little in the shallow. Is that kind of what you do when you say you have a 20 tied up, and you're like, oh, I'm going to hit that dock really quick, so like 8 feet deep of water, and you just kind of change your cadence?
Yeah, I usually carry two crankbait rods with me, and then a rod to flip pilings and docks and stuff. And the two crankbaits I carry are a 5XD to cover my like 10 to 14 feet, and then I have a dredger 25.5 or a 20.5 to cover my 16 or my 15 and to 18 feet depth. And I'll switch up, like I'll just grab that rod, throw it, fish what I need to with that, which is mainly the outside of the docks, the outside pilings or the mooring cans, and then in the docks I'll use a 5XD.
I'm going to answer a few more questions, guys, but believe it or not, Brett, we're already 40 minutes in, and we got a lot of other show we got to talk about. But if you guys have questions throughout the show, type them in there. It helps me if you put the word question in all caps in there so I don't skip by it. But we got a question from Chet here. It says, do you use speed clips or tie directly to the crankbait?
I tie directly to the crankbait split ring.
So the factory hardware, and just not to split ring.
I don't use like I said about the dredger. I would use those right out of the package, but every other crankbait I buy bulk packs of split rings and bulk packs of treble hooks. So I change out all my stuff.
Gotcha. So you ditch the factory trebles. Do you ever go single hook? I see like some guys are
No,
going single hook now. Not
I've never
especially for
done
tournament
that.
fishing. Why would you? I guess. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen we put the hook on the back reversed. I'm always like, is
yeah,
that how it goes? I'm always confused about that, but I guess that's the way it works. And then a
yeah.
single hook. So when he's talking about stock hardware, you're talking about this split ring that they come with. So what do you replace it with? Are you going with like a Pro Series owner or something?
No, I buy there's a company on or a guy on eBay who makes some they're just a stainless steel heavy duty split ring, and I just buy 100 of size 2s, 100 of size 3s, and 100 of size 4s, and that way I have to cover all the crankbaits I have. And then I do the same thing with the treble hooks.
So crankbait's like the opposite of being a finesse bait. Are you just straight like 20-pound mono on that? Or are you doing a braid to a leader? What are you doing for line when you're connecting it to it?
I do on my 5XDs, I do 20-pound braid to about a 4 foot leader of 10-pound fluorocarbon.
Oh, so that's actually pretty light. I thought you'd be heavier than 10. Are you doing that just because of the feel of it, how it goes through the water? What are you going so light for?
Yeah, I go light for to get the depth down quicker, so I can cover more water with a certain crankbait. Because, like I said, I can get all nerded out with this stuff, but I don't want to
Please
use up
do.
all the time. But it's just like you're in an area. Say you're fishing a dock, and up there it's 3 feet, and then once it gets to you, it's 15 feet. Well, it's going to be a gradual slope, or it's going to be a steep slope, and then it's going to flatten. You got to figure that out after years of fishing to know the area that you're fishing. But we'll just say it's a gradual slope. So you're going to want that crankbait to hit the bottom, which it will up shallow, but you're going to want that crankbait to continue to hit the bottom as it goes down. You don't want it to just taper off after 3 feet, and then you got to reel in 5 feet this way to get it back down again. You want it to just gradually just fish that bottom as it's going down. So I think the lighter line cuts through the water easier, and it gets down to those depths. And sometimes those fish don't see a crankbait and like a small crankbait. They don't see that in those kind of depths. So most time, like you're thinking, oh, I got to use a Berkeley Dredger 25.5. Well, that's this big, and you put on a 5XD or a 3XD, which is like this big, and you get it down to the bottom that deep. They're gonna react to it because they're like, oh, I've never seen a small lure like that before. So, yeah.
Great advice here. All right, let's see if we have any more questions or we're going to move on. All right. I'm going to the very last question here, guys, but like I said, type them in here throughout the show. We got Brett Wilson on here. So make sure you guys hit the like button, leave a comment for Brett. But here we go is another question. And this is from VC59. It says, question, any conditions where is that a balsa? How do you say that? Balsa crank?
Balsa? Balsa wood.
Oh, gotcha. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm assuming
like
that's
hand painted balsa wood. Balsa crank and a silent crank would have an advantage. So for you guys that don't know the cranks, I'll just rattle one here real quick, just so you can see the. Can you hear that? No.
There you go.
They all have like a knocker in them. Yeah. Some of them are like a big knocker. Some of them are like the smaller ones have like a little tight knocker in them. But what do you think of that question there?
I don't know I don't know too much about the balsa wood crank. I have one balsa wood crankbait, like an old one. I think it was made in like the 80s. But for the most part, my stuff is not silent. All mine have rattles in it. I don't know if it would work because I've never used a silent crankbait in the saltwater. I do know in the freshwater, silent crankbaits work amazing. Sometimes those fish don't want a loud knocking of noise. They just want something pretty silent. And to them, they think like, oh, this fish is trying to get away, but I see it, so I'm going to go get it. They're trying to outsmart that prey, so they're going to try to go get it, and that's what makes them tick. So I don't know. It might work in the ocean.
Maybe that's the next big crankbait, dude. Maybe you better get one and try it out. You know, maybe he's like secretly spreading a secret he knows about that we don't. So anybody that fishes the silent crankbait in Spotty Bowl, put it in the chat. Do you ever fish the lipless crankbait?
I've never fished a lipless rattle trap style crankbait in the saltwater. I've heard people do, and they say it works great. I just never. It's so hard for me to get away from these like traditional style crankbaits. Like the 5XD is just, it's so hard to get away from that. It took me forever to fish a chatterbait, and now I'm like getting hooked on chatterbait.
Oh yeah, I know. But chatterbait for me has like been a big one this year too. For a long time, dude. I was like, when I had my guest on last week, we were talking about spinnerbaits, and spinnerbaits was huge, but it kind of like faded out on me. I haven't fished spinnerbaits, but maybe a handful of times this year, you know. But spinnerbaits, when I first got into it, I was like, man, these catch the big fish. I remember my old show used to always talk about spinnerbaits catching big fish.
Oh yeah, that was the go-to back in the tournament days. Is when the SWBA was around. That's spinnerbaits was the big fish ticket.
Yeah, we all had tons of those. I loved fishing the spinnerbait. Dude, it's so weedless, you know. You can take it anywhere. You're like. All right, I'm sorry. One more question, Brett. You got a lot of questions on here tonight. Question: what are the treble hooks you get, and some recommendations? What are you replacing those stock ones with?
So this is all based off of this is my opinion. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to work for you, but what I like is I like a treble hook that's a thinner wire gauge. I don't like a super thick wire gauge for spotties because I've noticed that when I did use like 3X or 4X hooks on crankbaits, those fish would hit and then they would rip out. They would hit and then they would rip out. So I've gained a little bit of on the fish, and then I would just lose fish all the time. So I've gone to a thinner wire because I want the thinner wire to puncture more, and I want that thinner wire to give when those fish start to kind of head shake and do their thing with their mouth. That thinner wire will puncture their lip or their mouth a little more than those thicker ones, and it'll kind of stay in there. It'll give a little bit when those fish are shaking. But with that being said, those hooks always bend out. So I'm a stickler with my crankbaits, and I change my hooks out after every session. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So I buy a lot of them, and I change them out after every session because when I get home and I look at that crankbait I use, my hooks are all bent and they're almost straightened out. So I just change them out for the next time I'm going to go fishing. And sometimes I'll change them out while I'm fishing because they just bend them so quickly. But I like a thinner wire hook just for it to penetrate through the fish's mouth better. That's the only reason why.
I think that's a reason why you're a champion, because those little percentages of things I've always talked about add up. Like I'm the same way with my hooks. All midway through, take my finger and I feel it. If that thing doesn't like rub on the prints of my finger, doesn't like prick the finger, I'm like, oh, that thing's dull. I'll just take out my little sharpener, sharpen it up real quick. And it's those little details that Brett's talking about is landing that fish. It's all those little details about the leader, the hook, the presentation of the bait, all that adds up to a championship. And that's really, I think, a lot of the reason why you get the big fish too, is because you know how to present the bait as big fish, like what, 13, 14 years old, some of them. So you gotta be able to trick them. I don't know if they're smarter. I don't know if they're smarter, or it seems like the 13.5 is like 13-inch fish are like the most aggressive. They're like the teenager. I feel like 13s
those are the
like,
worst, dude. Those are the worst.
they're all over the place. Like the 13 is like the most common. I kind of a big fish, but it's like you get into the 13s and there's like a whole schoolyard of them. You're like, 13, 13, 13, 13. But if you find those big ones, usually you find a big one too. There might be one right next to it. Brett, thank you for the crankbait information, guys. I'm going to move on to our next segment here because we are already at 50 minutes. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying this show and leave me a comment. But let's go ahead and get on to this. Oh, man, that was a lot of good information. I wish we had more time to sit here and talk with Brett for 2 hours, but we're going to get on to some weekly news. If you guys have any news you'd like to share, tournaments coming up, outings, trash cleanups, club get-togethers, any kind of fishing news, send it to me, and I'll make sure we get it on weekly news. And guys, let me know in chat right now, because I've had technical difficulties on this past couple weeks, if you guys are seeing weekly news right now on the screen. Spotty Bowl. Whew. 1 round left down there in San Diego. That's this weekend. So you guys that are fishing San Diego, don't forget to declare your day. And this is the time where you're going to pick either bay, Mission Bay or San Diego Bay. I think since Mission Bay was so good for a lot of people, I think usually Mission Bay, there's like me and Chad and 2 other guys out there. But I think you guys are getting more comfortable with Mission Bay. I won't be shocked to see if it's like a 50-50 this. You're familiar with both bays. Which bay would you go for?
Right now, I'd probably go Mission Bay.
Mission Bay. Mission Bay, if you don't know it, don't think you're going to learn it just like instantly. Probably stick with your, but if you know Mission Bay, I don't know. Mission Bay is it can be good. It can also be bad. So I don't know. Like up there, dude, it seems like all your guys' bays in LA are like always not super consistent. Not for me, for Huntington. You're probably really good at Huntington, but it seems like they're a little more consistent on big fish up there. I don't know. But down here sometimes you get 70 inches. You're like, thank goodness. You get 70 inches in LA and you're like, I just got last place.
I really think it's what you brought up a couple years ago. You mentioned, and it makes total sense, is the seal population. You guys in San Diego Bay and even in Mission Bay, you guys got so many seals there. And I bet that has a little bit of control on the size of the fish. Unless they get really big, then the seals don't mess with it. But up here, if you see 2, 3, they're not really near where you're fishing. They're out at like the bait barge or something like that. But in Mission Bay and San Diego Bay, they're everywhere. They're in the docks. They're in the open. They're at the bait barge. They're everywhere. So
right.
I think that has something to do with it.
I think you're right. And every time I see a sea lion and I see birds coming down, I see that thing with a fish and flopping around. I'm like, dang it, get out of my yard, stupid sea lions. Sick of them down here. And you know what? Now you got me all riled up. But you used to go to the bait barge in San Diego Bay and there'd be like 10. I'm not kidding, Brett. There's so many on there. That bait barge, like 2 more hamburgers, and that thing's going to be like below water. There's so many sea lions on that thing. It's getting ridiculous. We need some orcas to come into town or some kind of predator, mega predator to come in and clean up. Can we import something? I don't know. All right, Alamitos, Huntington, Newport, Monterey. Guess what? You guys are all done up there in LAOC, so we're going to find out the playoffs. Not standings. We're going to find out playoff matches tonight. So you guys are done. Hopefully you did good. Star tournament's going on. Are you part of the Star tournament?
Yeah.
Have you got any fish yet? Let me restate that. Have you remembered to take any pictures of fish yet? Because I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I took. I started it. There was a Ghoulie Derby. Shout out to Ghoulie Derbies. There's a Ghoulie Derby 2 weeks ago, and I submitted 2 fish for that, and then I submitted 2 fish for this last session of Spotty Bowl.
I literally caught a big next to Brian Ross, and I said, it's not huge, but it's a star tournament fish. Took a picture of the fish on my bump board for Spotty Bowl and then threw it back in. I go, I just forgot to take my star picture. So remember to take, remember to not only take your Spotty Bowl picture if you get a big, but enter it also in there. You have the possibility of winning this boat. Hope Brett Wilson wins that thing or some Spotty Bowler. I'm crossing my fingers if Spotty Bowler wins this. I don't know. That'd be cool. I think that'd be sweet. So you have the chance of winning this. It's what, $40 to enter that. This is the right way to do it. This is the wrong way. You guys haven't seen the slide because I've been messing up, but don't put your measuring mat in the picture. The fish has got to be on the measuring mat. I made this mistake and I've said that on the show. I just want to keep saying this until you pound it into your guy's head because I still see people submitting with the mat in the picture. You got to have it on the actual mat for it to count. And how do I know? It's because 2 of my fish got disqualified because of that picture like that. Let's see. All right, here's some leaders right now. So looks like we got one of the Anthony Chet, man, already got a 13 and 11 points. So you guys can go on Fish Chaos and see where everybody stands. But there you go. Man, somebody's got 20.
Anthony's killing it. He's killing
Anthony, 13. Wow. Are you out there every day, Anthony? Jeez. He wants that boat, I guess, eh?
Dude, he's killing it, man.
Killing it. Brian Rosen, I see on there. I see Chad on there. Tyler. I see a lot of Sammys on there. I see a lot of Spotty Bowlers on there. Spotty guys are tearing up. This is it's crazy to me, though. Wait, no, this is the youth division. Youth division's tearing up, too. We got Alexander, Jake is on there. Tyler, Liam. All right, we got some of our junior guys on there. And look at this crazy category, the Sand Bass Shorts. Look at Frank Santiago and Ron Lee, 72 entries already. Man, that's awesome. Kill you guys.
Dedication.
It's only been going for a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I think, 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
72 entries out there already. That's crazy. And they got a Mylar balloon division too. I got 1 point on that. But go Frank. Also, I wanted to mention this too. They got a here's Frank. Just happens to be that they're giving away a weekly prize. Akuma is, and Frank won last week's, and a guy named John, who's a friend of mine, won this week's. But they're giving away weekly prizes also. It's pretty cool. Okay, weekly news. Oh, here we go. Spotted Bay Bass Tournament, the Milton's tournament's on June 27th, which is only a few weekends away. Looks like they've changed. I'll only take this off this chat off the screen for this real quick. We've made some rule changes. This is from James Collins himself. If you have questions about this tournament, you can message James Collins right there on Instagram. He says, made a few changes. 5 fish limit. Was it a 3 fish limit before?
Yeah. And then it was a 4 fish last one.
Okay. So gone all the way to 5 fish. I like that. New check-in times. What was the check-in time? 5 to 7, I think now.
Yeah.
That writing's so small I can barely read it, but I think it's 5 to 7. This flyer's on Milton's Instagram, so if you want to check out the total details on this. But that's coming up. That's always a good one. So, man, I got to get up there and fish one of these one time. It's in Newport Harbor. But check it out. Is it $25 to enter, I think? And then they have
25
a big fish
for the solo and 50 for a 2-person team. So 25 a person across the board.
Got it. So that's coming up. I'll see if I can get a little more information on it by the next show. Let you guys know on that. And here we go. Surf's up. Massive waves hit SoCal beaches. Jeez, Brett. Aren't you a bodyboarder or a surfer or something like that?
Yeah, I'm a big bodyboarder. I just have kind of lost touch with it just because I've been fishing so much. But man, the wedge is pumping. Just kind of like it was back in the day, dude. It's big.
I saw a video of a bodyboarder like hitting a wave coming in sideways and heading out to the wave, and he did 2 like full backflips off the waves out there. That was nuts. So you guys didn't know a long period of long period of southern hemispherical swells pounding the southern coastline. The National Weather Service has issued a beach hazard statement across the region Thursday afternoon, expecting surf 4 to 7 feet high, 8 to 12 feet high, and up to 20 feet high. There's a high risk of it, whatever. San Diego is peaking around 4 to 7, and LAOC 15 to 20 feet at the Newport Wedge. And that's basically like when you're leaving the Newport Harbor, there's like a riprap rock wall down it, right? It's exactly on the opposite side of that, right? It's like the beach, Newport.
It's breaking inside the harbor.
I was out there once, not for this, but I was in that area, and I could see the waves coming all the way higher than the rocks. I'm like, what is going on back there? I can't imagine what it's like right now.
I can't imagine what it's like in Mission Bay. Mission Bay on a low tide? Woo, good luck.
Speaking of tides, so guys, just so you know, here's a picture of the wedge right there, actually, from this weekend. Man, that wave's gotta be crazy. I'd like to just go out there and check it out. If it wasn't an hour and a half away, I'd go check it out. But here's the tides for this weekend, guys. So you guys fish in San Diego, we got some pretty good tides going here. We got a 6.7 and a 6.8. So that's when you run into a 6+ tide swing, it's pick your areas you fish wisely. Let's just say, like, if you're fishing bridge areas or narrow channels where, out by the jetty, it's going to be ripping, guys. So prepare for big tides this weekend. That's all I got to say, man. Sometimes you choose where you fish too on that big tide, on which bay. What do you do, and especially in a float tube, when you're fighting like a 6-foot current?
Dude, the last Huntington session we had, I was getting my butt handed to me. Like,
Oh,
I wanted to go fish. I wanted to go fish out front, and I looked at like a pole in the water, and I wasn't moving. I gave up, and I ended up just letting the tide just take me back in, because luckily my car was in the bay more. So I just ended up just putting my legs up, and I just felt like I was in a lazy river, and I just let it take me back in. Yeah.
I talked to Chris, the beef shaman, about that once, and I don't know if you follow him, but he's got a float tube and he's got all these little electric motors on it. It's got a little throttle control and everything on it. And the reason he built all that is because he told me once he got stuck in current and couldn't get back to his car for like 3 hours, or wind or current or one or the other. He's like, man, I can't let this happen anymore. I got to figure out something. And he told me that's one of the reasons why he put that motor on there, so he doesn't get like stranded somewhere in his float tube. I think it's actually a lake. Maybe the wind was pushing him or something.
Oh, yeah. Probably Lake Barrett. He probably paddled way far away.
I think that's actually what he said. Yeah. And he said it was just a nightmare getting back. Master of the Universe, did you see it this weekend? I'm going to give that 3 out of 5 Spotties. I know you wouldn't saw it. You probably not into that right at your kid's age right yet.
What is... No,
Masters of the Universe He-Man came out this weekend. I went and saw it, guys. I used to do a lot of movie reviews, and if you're into He-Man, just don't expect it to be like exactly like the original cartoon series. It's more of like a comedy movie, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like a superhero but comedy, like dancing and stuff and music. I think they kind of took that type of movie and put it into the Masters of the Universe. I'm giving it 3 out of 5. Pretty good. You might wait for streaming service, but Masters of the Universe. It bombed. That's a bummer.
Dang.
Let me see if we have any more questions in here. If we don't, I'm going to go ahead and move on to this, Brett. Let's get our groove on here.
Hey, this is Mike Brown, and you're watching Snagging Grass and Catching Bass.
Now, Stash, you're watching Snagging Grass and Catching Bass with Brian Likes to Fish, baby. Let's go.
You sent me a couple. I need to start playing yours more often. I just saw yours the other day. Oh, yeah, I haven't played Brett's for a while. You're like in your work uniform, doing it from like your work truck or something like that from like 2 years ago, maybe. Oh man, Brett, I forgot to tell you about this, but I just found out my wife has a secret Tinder profile, and I'm getting sick of her lies. She's not fun to be around.
Dang, don't let her hear that.
Right there. I know, dude, it's crazy. That's a pretty bad one. Sorry, guys, but sometimes I gotta try to slip one in there. You guys know how to fit. All right, here we go. This guy right here, TB Metal Art. If you follow him on Instagram, he revealed the belts for 2026. We're gonna get to those right now. Just so you guys know, this is all, you could see how he makes these things. They don't just he just doesn't go on Amazon and order a bunch of parts. He hand paints them. He has all the pieces cut. You've got one of these things. You know how killer they are. Hold your belt up. Hold your belt up real quick. Let's take a look at that thing.
Thing's nice.
What is that, 2024?
Yep, 2024. So long ago.
Not really. Seems like a long time ago, but there you go. So Todd makes these things by hand, and I don't think Spotty Bowl, it would be cool, but I think by having that as like something that you want to achieve by, you know what I mean, like a Spotty Bowl belt, I think it makes it just Spotty Bowl a little bit more special by having these belts. So Todd, everybody, thank Todd. He's doing an amazing job. And here's the reveal. You can see here's building it. And there you go.
Awesome.
Let's go, Todd. Beautiful. It's got a
That's
crankbait
sick.
on there. Beautiful colors this year. I don't know what to say. Every year they get better and better. Man, I'd like to get my
Big
hands on
thank
one
you.
of those ones. They're beautiful. So thanks, Todd. Everybody that has one of these, we appreciate it and cherish them. Here's all the different belts. Look at that. Signed. Is yours signed? Signed by TB Metal Art on the back right there. That's cool. It's got a gold foil black back too on this year's.
That's gonna be worth some money.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, so this is what if you make the playoffs and you make it all the way to championship, you can earn yourself one of these. And all right, so thanks, Todd, and thanks to the judge. Give him a thanks too. Donated all the Ramona cash side pots, Ramona Automotive, plus judge puts up with me trying to get all the stuff done and me yelling and him yelling at me. And, we're like the odd couple, dude. Like, I get stressed out of the show. He gets stressed out of judging. But you know what? This is me and the judge's 6th year, so we know each other's personalities and we work with each other. And I love you, Judge. You're an awesome person, and I'm so happy that you're part of this. And I'm happy that you're my friend and that I met you. And I don't think my life would be the same without meeting the judge, because Spotty Bowl never would exist. The show never would exist. I would have never found this community. So if you do like your Back to the Future timeline, whenever I met the judge, like, that shot off into this timeline. So I'm thankful for you, man. Thanks a lot. All right, Ramona Automotive. See, here we go. And I forgot to type winner, but this is winners. These aren't leaders. Wait, no. These are San Diego and so it's a leader. Sorry, Corey, I almost messed up. These are still the leaders. So we got one more round in San Diego. But Daniel, wow, dude. I don't know. Somebody's got to catch an 18-incher for sure, dude. So Daniel 17.75 shore, longest spotty from Vessel. Frank Santiago, biggest spotty ever caught in Spotty Bowl. How many 18s you got?
I haven't officially measured an 18. I've never measured one.
I've got one in, I don't know, 20 years. So, I know, it's crazy. And this year seems like the year of the big fish, Brett. I don't remember so many 17s being caught. Do you? Like, it seemed like we were like scraping to get those baits reels, and now it's like, I don't know. I feel like this year had more 17s than any year we've had in the past.
Yep.
And then we got this fish, the biggest one. Shortest spotty, Brian Rosen. Man, guys won 3.5. Shortest other, Alex Norton, 4-inch opal eye. Longest other, Barracuda, of course, 24/7. Jim Russo, longest. I'm gonna go fast, guys. Jim Russo, 29.5, and these are all the leaders. So next show we'll go ahead and announce the winners. Ron Lee, 23.5 sheephead. Best promo video. Got a couple more weeks to send those in. I don't know. Judge, is this cut off after regular season, or does this go all the way to August before the awards? But you can send a promo video, and we'll be judging that and showing that on this show for the best promo video. $200, pretty good. Bates reels. Thank you, Bates. Got mine right here. I was going to show this off, but we're running out of time. But I love the goat, and I got like the limited edition blue and red goat, and I love this reel. Ever since I've got it, it's like one of my main reels I fish all the time. So thanks, Bates. Appreciate you guys. Angler of the year, longest sum total with the mulligan. We'll get a Bates reel this year. So we'll announce that at the award ceremony. Who wins that? Longest bag during the playoffs. We'll also announce that during the award ceremony. Corey King will be announcing these. One reel for SD, one reel for LAOC. So I'm looking forward to hearing that announcement. 17-inch, they're all gone. They were gone like 2 weeks ago. Here's all the guys that won them. Mike Brown, me, Charlie, Frank, Chad.
Dang,
all got.
You and Mike won 2 each.
I know, and I kind of feel bad about that. I probably shouldn't have left
one.
I don't feel that bad. Okay, and then if you enter the Star Tournament and you go to the award ceremony, we're raffling off 2 Blackstone grills. So all you have to do is be in Spotty Bowl and also enter the Star Tournament. And when you get to the award ceremony, show Corey King that you're in both, and we'll give you a raffle ticket towards that. Cool Baits. Now you're going to find out the winner right here. Cool Baits underspins. I love them. I would say I catch a majority of my fish on them. If you haven't checked them out, they're perfect for spotty fishing. They're like a best of all worlds where the hook's on top. You go right through the grass. It's got a spinner on it. You can choose your swim bait you want to hook to it. They work perfect on A-rigs. Cool Baits also makes an A-rig, so check them out. And it's $100 of Cool Baits product goes to. Let's go. Came in at the very end here. Cash. Gosh, man. Cash, you must have a garage full of stuff, but contact me, Cash. Pick out your $100 on Cool Baits, and I'll have those for you at the award ceremony. Congratulations. Looks like you got it on an A-rig, too. How's your A-rig game? Do you fish A-rig at all?
Dude, I used to fish it religiously 6 years ago, and during COVID, I fished it a lot, and then I have stopped, and I just haven't picked it back up.
I love fishing a rig. Everybody knows that, but the most devastating thing is to like load up a fresh A-rig. You know, you spent $30-$40 maybe, and you snag it on a rock or you snag it on a dock line, and it's gone. You're like, devastated. It's the worst, dude. So
gotta jump in.
It's fun to fish, but losing them is terrible. One of the most expensive baits. Has anybody loaded up like a rig full of chatterbaits yet? Davey Brown, have you done that? He seems like a guy that would do that. Like a chatter. I'm talking like 5. I don't know. Maybe it's like so much vibration, like the. You know what I mean? If anybody's done that in chat, let me know. I think that's something I might try just for giggles to see if it catches a fish. But 5 chatterbaits on A-rigs. Anybody have the guts to do that? The winner of Fish Labs, let's go. This is a season long. I think there's one for LA. I could be wrong, but I think there's one for LA and one for San Diego. So your winner is Daniel Ramos. Corey, am I right on that? With a 15.25. Got that. Looks like on one of the Nature Series swim baits right there. So congratulations. Talk to Corey King. He'll let you know how to redeem that. You pick out $50 worth of Fish Lab products. Fish RX. This is every session he's giving away $50, and your winner is Aaron Carl Black. Let's go, 15.5. Let's go, Aaron. Looks like he's got maybe on a Warbaits neck breaker right there. That's probably hard to see on your phone there, Brett, but so you got on a neck breaker. Gamakatsu. I was going to talk about a Gamakatsu product, but man, I hate to hold you guys here for 2 hours, and also Brett, but they make, when you're doing like a small split ring, like on your crankbaits, when you're removing that thing, right? It's hard to find a split ring plier, which is this part right here. There's a little nose on the end that will work on small split rings, and Gamakatsu makes like the perfect size for that. Like if you're like for the crankbaits or A-rigs, anything that has a really small split ring, even like the slow pitch jigs have them if you need to change them out. This is like the best one I found. You use this thing too?
Yep.
It's hard to find a really small. Same one I got. Yeah. So they make tons of them for like the big tuna or jigs or irons or whatever, you know, but it's hard to find a small one. So if you're looking for a small split ring plier, Gamakatsu makes the best. Check those out. And Gamakatsu side pot goes to, who would have guessed? Cash Brett, 16.5. Big surprise. But congratulations, Cash. What a season. I don't know how many boxes he won.
I think they're above his head now.
Cash, would you please take a picture of how many sets of braid cutters you have and boxes and hooks? And man, got a whole tackle shop. Congratulations, Cash. That's pretty cool. HD Baits in the house. What's up? HD Baits sponsoring 3 different categories. Longest spotty on HD Bait. Brian Rosen this week. Let's go. $50, 14.75. Brian Rosen was out there fishing side pots on Sunday. So I saw him. Shortest spotty, of course, Brian Rosen. Side pot king going for a 7.5. No entry for halibut. Halibuts this year for me, not as many as in the past. I'm kind of like, because I'm fishing for spotties, I'm kind of like not annoyed, but like, and I get like a big halibut, like a 22 or 28 incher. It's like, oh man, here we go. I know what this is. And it's kind of throws your game off a little bit. Not fun during Spotty Bowl. Longest other, Brian Rosen. Man, Brian, $150 in HD Baits. David, you can go broke with Brian Rosen in there. $150 in baits. Hookup Baits, longest bag. Nick Levingston. Let's go. I'll reveal his bag when we get to the results show. But Nick, you have won yourself $50 gift card to Hookup Baits for longest bag submitted with Hookup Baits in the picture. Let's go, Nick. Nice job. And longest spotty for the season. I think this is for both. So you got one more week if this holds up, Nick, but a 16.75. I think that was actually done this weekend. So nice job, Nick. 16.75, legit fish right there.
Nice one.
It's got the blue tape on its thumb, so it must have been a good day.
Hey.
You know what? I have got away from like lipping him like that now. I like grab him by the
under the gill. Oh, okay.
Yeah, tummy gill area right there. Like I used to like like get it, and first thing I do is put my thumb in its mouth and kind of. But my thumb got so torn up through the days, and I know you do the. I mean, if you're spotted, your thumbs get torn up.
Yeah.
But I've got to the point to where I've I don't know, I don't want to say mastered how to handle them, but I'll hold them underneath. I'm in a boat too, so it's a little different. If I drop it, you know what I mean, it's not going in the water. I know with you probably got a good death grip on its lip, right?
My hands are all jacked up every session.
Yeah, I bet. A big spot too will jack you up if you put it in there, and they are long. They're aren't paying attention to them, and they you're like, okay, he's calmed down, and then all of a sudden they get that head shake going, and they won't stop, and your thumb's stuck in there. Oh my gosh!
You want to know what the worst one is? Is a big sand bass. Those are the worst.
Oh yeah,
they do the death alligator spin, and oh gosh, dude, they're bad.
Yep. Calico seem like the tamest of the three, don't you think? They seem like the wimpiest too. If you're not careful, when we do SBS tournaments, you gotta baby them a little bit. They seem like
they're tough, but they conserve their energy. I'll just say that they live forever. Them and Spotties are the strongest. The sand bass give up and they'll float in your live well and shit. But man, the Spotties and the Calico, those things are freaking. They survive everything. They're like cockroaches.
JK crankbaits. Custom painted crankbaits. So longest spotty on a crankbait of your choice, and you'll win yourself a custom painted crankbait. And that is Davey Brown. Let's go. I told you he was fishing crankbaits. What crankbait is that?
Nice.
It looks like a dredger maybe. Yeah. 16-incher. Nice job, Davey Brown. And longest for the season, which is Daniel, of course, with that 17.75. Let's go, Daniel.
Big fish.
Kayak Fishing Supply, $100 gift card every round for longest trifecta. New sponsor to this year. We appreciate you guys. It's awesome. Thank you for doing that. And that is, look at this guy. Yo. Chet throwing down a 19.75. That's a good sand bass right there.
That's an albino calico.
Yeah. You know what that probably means? That thing was probably in the kelp or somewhere where it was out and about, usually when you catch one of those, when they're hidden in the rocks or the docks, they're much darker.
Yeah. Or he was living under a boat that has a light at night.
Oh, there you go. Does that do it too?
Yeah, he got too tan and it turned him into the light color.
Oh man. Speaking of albinos, now that you mentioned that, the other day I was in a parking lot and I cut off an albino. Man, he was so mad. I told him he needs to lighten up. You set me up perfect on that. We didn't.
You know what I think?
Hard it is to pull an albino joke out of. You know how hard it is to pull an albino joke out.
Hey, you're a movie guy. When you talk about albino, the movie that comes to mind is I think it's not Bad News Bears. It's Nick Swartzen when he lives in a closet. It's about a baseball team, and he lives in the closet. And he only comes out every now and then, and he comes out and he's super white, and he's oh, I can't be out in the sun, and then he's putting sunscreen on him. Dude, that movie is hilarious.
What's the name of it?
What's the name of it? Nick Swartzen.
When you come up with think about it for a second.
Oh shoot, I'll look it up right now.
Lateral Vision, thanks so much. Man, they've donated so much stuff. All you guys, the whole Spotty Bowl crew. Let's wear that to the award ceremony. If you got one of these shirts, let's show them off at the award ceremony. Wear down your fancy no stain shirt, 71-inch bag. You got one. It's
bench warmers.
Oh yeah, with the Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes. Wait, is that him? Bench warmer, Napoleon Dynamite's in that?
Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that. Yes, that is a good one. 71-inch bag. If you got one in any bay, you automatically got one of these. You got one of the special edition Spotty Bowl shirts for LA, San Diego, or OC. So make sure you wear that stuff to the award ceremony. 16-inch Spotty. If you caught it and submitted it, you're going to get a free hat, a free shirt, or a free shirt. And we got Chet, Nick, Joey, and Davey. Congratulations. Got yourself another shirt, because I think those guys have won more than one. Another shirt. Pick it out. Wear it to the award ceremony. Fast 14-inch. Catch a 14. Did you catch a 14 in your first 30 minutes and remember to submit it?
I caught it at 6:29.
No, yeah. There he is right there. Eric, Brett, Nara. Nara, man. He's coming around, dude. Nara. Remember, he's
staying away from the bars.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. But Nara's not only catching 5 fish nowadays, but he's catching 5 bigs. Chet, Jared, Mike. All got yourself the Fast 14. Congratulations. One cool tuna. Jeff's in the house. What's going on, Jeff? And I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been watching the chat much. So if you guys are asking questions, I'm sorry if I didn't get them. I'm kind of go through this really quick here. Jeff, if you want free line labels and you want free Spotty Bowl stickers and a little bit of swag, go to his webpage, put in Spotty26 at checkout, and he'll send you some of these free items right here. Also, go on there and check out his, I don't know if you call them irons. I would call them an iron, but man, they are killer. If you've never seen a One Cool Tuna iron, they're like perfectly machined. They kick perfect. They're killer. It's like almost like scary to throw it. You're like, I don't want to lose this thing. It's so nice. You know, it's one of those baits. And longest halibut is Junior. Let's go, Junior. 22.5, a legal halibut, $25 gift card. Talk to Corey. He'll let you know how to redeem that. And longest for the season right now, I don't know. Is this a winner? I think we need one more round. I typed in winner, but Ricardo, you're leading it. And I think you may have won it if there's one for San Diego at 25.5, $50 gift card. Let's go, Ricardo. Nice job. I think you are the winner. Let's see what we hear. Under a dock. That fish he was talking about, the albino calico, was under a dock. A bigger one was chasing it. So under a dock. Huh? Must just have like not very much pigment or something in it. Yeah, it would look pretty light. If you win a championship like Brett has, then you're also handed an Akuma reel with your championship belt donated by Akuma. Thank you, Davey Brown, everybody at Akuma, for donating a reel to all of our champions. So that's something to look forward to handing out at the award ceremony. Hopefully Davey Brown will be there helping me out with all that. Reaper slow pitch jigs. How's your slow pitch jig game? Are you into it?
I do it every now and then, but it's not something I have ready in my arsenal. But I do it sometimes.
And when you get tired of throwing that crankbait or the A-rig or the chatterbaits, it almost makes you lazy because they're so easy to fish. It's just like pitching a frog, you know, just pitch it, fall, reel it in, pitch it. It's like easy on the body, let's say. I love fishing slow pitch jigs. Easy on the body. Anytime I take somebody out that's like I would say brand new to spotty fishing, that you know, it takes a little while to learn cadence and wait till it hits the bottom, all that kind of stuff. Slow pitch jig and hookup baits and those type of vertical fishing is a very good way to get started because you can pick up really quick on how it works and you just drop it by structure and you usually get bit. So it's a good confidence bait too. So check out Reaper slow pitch jigs and your winner for $25. Carl Black, 16.25. Nice fish, Carl. He's got those mechanic pliers. Seems like those things would be gone in like a week. But Carl, did you get a new boat? Carl's not on the pond trawler anymore.
Oh no, I think he got a Cali Bogey boat, if I'm not mistaken. Center console.
What?
They're nice.
How did you not send that to me, Carl? Send me a picture of your boat. Let's see what you got. I thought I remember saying you weren't on the pond prowler anymore. But congratulations, you got a new boat. It's 19-inch spotty. This is going to be a progressive jackpot. Who knows how many years this is going to go on? Let's hope this gets up to like $1,000 one day.
I was going to say $1,000. That'd be sick.
The first person to catch a legitimate 19-incher on the bump board during your session will win $150. It's progressive, so it's going to keep going up till somebody gets one. But I don't know. 6 years in, I think we've only got like 4 or 5 18s. So I don't know. I know they exist. I've seen pictures of guys on Instagram that have them, but not during Spotty Bowl.
Yeah.
Submission Fish Code Jigs. What's up, Muto? Muto's this close to having a baby. So Muto, hope everything's going up there. What's up, Jessica? Submission Fish Code Jigs. Check them out. Longest Spotty on a Submission Fish Code Jig. $50. And that is Nora. What's going on, Nora? Nice job, dude. 15-inch Spotty right there. You can see she got it on the orange pumpkin right there, which is my favorite color. So nice job, Nara. You get a $50. Talk Corey. He'll tell you how to redeem it. Yak Attack, $50. You don't use any. Do you use any Yak Attack on a float tube? Do that like no?
I'm sure you can modify stuff to fit on a float tube. I'm sure there is. I literally don't carry any I just carry my tackle and my rods and that's it.
What do you put your rods in? Are there rod holders on your?
No, I don't have rod holders. I lay them just on the side of me. So the butt end of the rod is near like my thigh. And then the point or the tip of my rod sticks out towards the back. So I just got to be careful when I'm turning so I don't turn and
you got to be pretty conscious of what's going on around you then, huh?
Yeah, but that way it's not standing straight up or on an angle because I'm bombing cast nonstop, so I don't want to have to hook like my rod or anything like that.
And when you said bomb and cast, you were dual wielding. Do you ever dual wield? Is that what you're doing?
Never done that.
I did a video once years ago of trying to dual wield, and it took me like my son was videoing this, and it took me so many takes, but eventually I was throwing, I think, either 2 hookup baits or 2 slow pitch jigs, something, and I caught 2 fish at once. And I
Oh,
reel it in,
wow.
I reel it in, and so I spent forever trying to do that, and I actually
How
did
many
that
times did you
once.
backlash?
Dude, no spinning reels. No, no way. I'm not trying
Oh,
to.
cheater.
No entry. What? You could have entered any fish, any size with a Yak Attack product, and you would have won this. So
Wow.
nobody entered it. How is that even possible? Everybody's got Yak Attack, and nobody entered it. Guys, choked on the last one. All right, and that is it for side pots. Are you ready to get onto this? This is what the main event, what everybody's waiting for. Man, you crankbait guys, everybody's so interested in that bait, can talk a long time, man. These crankbait shows, we're going to go back to back close to 2-hour shows. Of course, I love having Brett on because, dude, honestly, man, you give up so much cool information, and the Spotty community appreciates guys like you. The old school guys have been doing it for 20 years. Because I know when I was a kid, we didn't have YouTube. So it was like, and it seemed like everybody was so tight lipped back then. You like hiding stuff and secret things, but now it's so different with YouTube, and guys like you come on my show and like say all this stuff, and just little, even if somebody just takes one little hint, like you're talking about how it's going downhill and you're trying to keep it going downhill. Even if somebody just picks up a little hint like that, man, I appreciate you guys for giving those hints.
I think you having Eric on the show, Eric Bent, that guy, I cannot say enough good things about him. That's a pioneer right there. That guy's been doing it for so long, before I was even born, and for him to give out the information that you did, that's awesome. Guys like that, they're hard to come by, and he was willing to come on and spill little beans, and he's a good dude.
I think almost all my guests have been that way. It may not be as much wealth of information as you or Eric, but even if you come on here and you just have one hint you want to share, everybody appreciates it. I mean, more of the messages I get, direct messages to me, are more about thank you for the hints, and it's so cool. And recently I've been like, hey, should we keep the show going? When Spotty Bowl's not around, and a lot of people have reached out and said, keep it going. We love having the guests on. I love all the little hints, and anybody that sends me a compliment, I do appreciate that. I thank you. That's really what keeps me going, because it's a lot of work to do this. And everybody that sends me a compliment, I appreciate you. And that's the reason I keep this thing going. Let's go. Playoffs, round 7. What bay did you pick?
I picked a bay in between San Pedro and Laguna Beach.
Marina del Rey? No. San Pedro. Just tell
San
me.
Pedro.
Don't make me guess. I don't know that area that good. Huntington? Oh, you picked Alamitos. Okay.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter.
I wish I would have picked Alamitos, because I bet you that place hasn't been hammered lately because of the dock situation over there. But Alamitos, I loved Alamitos. So when I saw Huntington was on the schedule twice and Alamitos was like only once, and during winter, I'm like, no, I love Alamitos. It's gonna be. I love that, because that place, when you figure it out, dude, you figure it out, and it's got
good, man.
It's like you're throwing back like 15. You're waiting for like 15.75s and 15.5 and 16 plusers. When that place is lit, it's like you get a lot of Biggins and Alamitos. I think we slowed that place down a little bit. That's why we took off the schedule, because it's so small. We're letting it have a little rest this year.
And that the rest period we gave it, let's just say it's worked.
Firing off again.
It's Alamitos is so good.
Oh yeah. And it's probably really good on kayaks and float tubes because it's so small. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You go to a place like Newport, if you go the wrong direction, you go all the way north, there's nothing there. And then you gotta go all the way south. It's a journey if you make a mistake on where you're fishing in Newport. Don't even get started with San Diego Bay. San Diego Bay that's gotta be really tough on a float tube. All right, I'm rambling too much.
It's fun, dude.
Oh yeah. It's fun because the variety over there too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Here we go. Shore division, round 7. Shore division, you can fish any bay you want, which is nice. And this year, we only have 8 anglers going this year. We want to get the shore divisions to build. You shore guys, jump in this. It's a lot of fun. Even if you're fishing a different division, you can fish shore and your division, Weekend Warrior or Master. You can fish both. Do it. Coming in 8th place, Guillermo. I don't think he's been fishing lately, Jordan. I don't know if you had a bad day, but that sucks. Jerry with a 22.75. Let's go, Jerry. And here we go. Your top 5. We got Brennan with a 46.75. Let's go. Way to finish strong there. We got Kevin Keller, 69, dude. Even. Let's go.
That striper
Kevin.
is huge.
Oh, man. I don't know. You know, I know a little bit about electricity, but my son, who just got back in town, is in trouble because he's been chewing on wires. So I had to ground him. But don't worry. He's conducting himself much better right now.
Wow. That was a good one.
Thank you. Was it?
You had a lot going on in that one. They were all intertwining.
I know. And, you know, speaking of that Newport wedge, gosh, man, the lifeguards have got to be going crazy up there right now. But why couldn't the lifeguards save the drowning hippie? He was too far out, man. Let's go, Kevin. 69 even. Way to go. 3rd place, we got, man, these guys up there. Vance, let's go. 73 from shore, dude. I don't know if the shore guys up there in LAOC have figured it out. Nice job, dude. Breaking the spotty barrier, killing it from shore. 2nd place, we got Daniel. Let's go, Daniel. 73.75. Just scraping up 2nd place. Daniel having a great year. Fish RX, check it out. And round 7, shore division.
Thank you, Bubba.
Your winner with
Love you.
places.
Want to give me a kiss?
Oh, Noah. Congratulations, dude. Look at that score, Brett, from shore.
Dude.
77.25. Noah.
Very impressive.
Dang. I remember, what was his name last year? There was a guy in shore. Ludwig was throwing out numbers like that. And I was like, just shocked. Because if we break 70 in San Diego, we're all thrilled over here, dude. It's like hard to do it. But man, you guys up in LA, dude, I don't know what shore spots you guys got, but dang, nice job, Noah.
That's impressive.
Throwing out a Ludwig size bags back to back, too. So congratulations, dude. 1st place. And are you ready for some our first playoffs matches?
Let's see it.
First, let's get to this. LAOC is over. So now I can announce the Angler of the Year, shore division. Angler of the Year, we take all your scores minus your mulligan. And the highest combined score is your number 1 seed. And you also get an award. Let me show you this. At the award ceremony, Brett, you've got probably a bunch of these, but you get an Angler of the Year plaque that you were Angler of the Year. Oh, there they are. Look at that. You get Angler of the Year. And if you guys got any first place in any of the divisions at the awards, you'll also get one of these, which is a plaque that says your division, your name, possibly the bay you wanted in, and you got a first place. So get a little bit of hardware to take home, too, if you come down the awards. But Angler of the Year, big accomplishment. And your Angler of the Year for shore division. Fish RX himself. Let's go, Daniel. Congratulations, dude.
Hard work, man. Good job, Daniel.
Wow, man. He had like a solid, consistent year. Daniel, did you even get a bag under 70? If you did, it was probably only 1 or 2, but he had some huge bags. And Daniel, check out Time on the Water show on Tuesday nights he does. Similar to this, like a bay fishing show. So check it out. Daniel, congratulations. Way to go, dude. Angler of the Year, shore division. Next up,
Daniel.
Here we go. Our first versus, I guess, would you call it versus? We got us. We got number 2 seed versus number 3 seed. Vance versus Noah. That'll be our first playoff announcement right here. You guys know what playoffs is? These 2 guys will fish against each other. Highest score moves on. Lower score, your Spotty Bowl's over, and you want to try to beat as many as you can to get to that championship round and hopefully fish from a championship. So there you go, Noah. You and Vance are going to be facing each other in the first round. And how you set up your time is we have a designated weekend for it. But if you talk to the judge and you guys set up a specific day you'd like to fish, just inform the judge what you guys are thinking about doing. And number 1 seed, Daniel versus Kevin Keller. Let's go. We opened up a 4th position on this one this year. So Daniel and Kevin, you'll be facing each other in round 1. Some good matchups here, eh? Shore division's always sketchy to me because you could have a really bad day sometimes at shore.
I
Like
wish I could
sometimes
do it, man. If I ever get more time, I'm doing that short division. That's
you
that's
do it.
grassroots, man. That's so
It's
fun.
7 days because I do it down here. You got 7 days to choose from, which is nice. And you could fish
I
that
know.
evening or night session if you need. I know, dude. It's a lot,
It's
especially when you got
tough.
to do baby. You got to
Yeah.
pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
My kids are all grown up, so I got a little bit more free time. Okay, and here is the playoff bracket right here. Daniel, Kevin, and Vance and Noah, and the winners of those will advance to the championship round. So go get it, guys. Can't wait to see how you guys do. Here we go. Weekend Warrior division, huge division. Hopefully, LA will get bigger and we'll open up a pro division one of these years. But right now, Weekend Warrior division, a lot of the pros are kind of mixed in this one, and a
I
lot
was
of the
gonna say,
Weekend Warrior.
I think the pro division could have happened because isn't there like 30 people in this one? You could have done 15 and 15 or.
Yeah, but a lot of the time it peters out at the end. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Like it starts strong with 30, and like this time we maybe had 20 or so people fishing. So sometimes it peters out. So it'd be
Gotcha.
nice, but like in San Diego, I think we have like, am I wrong, Judge? 44 in Weekend Warriors and like 29 in pro. So it's.
Dang.
We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. But some of you Weekend Warriors need to, I think, move to the Masters division. Judging some of
Oh
them.
yeah.
All right, here we go. 30th.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read all the names until I get to 20th place, which is David, who got a scoring fish. David, let's go, David. Got a 10.75. That's not a good bag for you, David, but got out there. You got it done. David, fellow float tube. Were you ever run into David out there?
Maybe I don't know a lot of people by name, but more so by face. So
Here, I'll let you know. Here we go. Let me find him here. Just so next time you run into him, you'll know who he is. I can't find him. Here we go.
My name is David, and you're watching Snagging Grass and Catching Bass.
this year,
I know.
the years pass.
David out there on the float tube. All right, Jeff 13.5, Alfred 24.75, Julian 50.25, Keehan 57.25. I'm not gonna have you name the read. Can you read these names and you see them? You want to try it?
Let me try. I'll pull it up on my other phone here because I can look at it a lot closer instead of putting my eyes on the screen here.
Starting with 15th place. If you can, if you
15th
can.
place. Yeah, I can see it. We got 15th place. We got Jacob with 60.75. And then 14th, we got Daniel with 63.75. In 13th place, we got Tara with 65.5. And in 12th place, we got Paul with 67 even. And 11th place, we got Aaron with 68.75. And in 10th place, here we go, top 10. 10th place, we got Blake with 68.7. Oh, so that's a tie. Aaron and Blake tied for 10th place at 68.75. And then in 9th place, we got Armando with 69 even. In 8th place, we got Daniel with 69.25. In 7th place, we got Nara with 72, breaking the Spotty, Spotty barrier. Yeah. You know what his trick is? He's not going to the bars.
What's that?
He's not going to the bars before the tournament. He's going to the bar after the tournament.
Yeah, to celebrate. They're on a 72. Let's go, Nara.
And then in 6th place, we got Jared with 73.25.
73.25, 6th place in Weekend Warriors. What's going on here, Brett? You remember Spotty Bowl when 73 was a Masters bag?
These numbers are insane for Weekend Warriors. But that just goes to show people are getting better. People are learning, so it's good.
That's right. All right, here we go. Top 5. Let me get this off here real quick. We got Mike Lee, 74.25. Mike, I've seen you on the top 5 many times, so congratulations. 74.25. That is a Masters bag. And Joey, what? Let's go, Joey. I think this is your first time on the top 5. Let's go, man. Get the music for that, dude. Let's go, Joey. 75.25. Man. First time in the top 5. Yeah, let's do it, Joey. Can't play that whole song, but there you go. 75.25. That's a 15-inch average. Nice job, dude. Super stoked when I see somebody new on the top 5. 3rd place, we got Nick Livingston. Nick, let's go. He's always on the top 3.
That's a good Grom right there, man. He's coming up.
Definitely going to see a few of you guys in Masters next year. 75.75. Good job, Nick. Anthony, let's go. 76.5. Anthony, dude, should definitely do Masters, man. I don't think he's had like a bag under 73.
Yeah, he's
no more sandbagging, Anthony. Guess where you're going next year? You're coming up with us. So, man, he's shredding it this year, dude.
He is,
I'm
man.
stoked for him. Yeah,
he caught an 18-incher this week.
No way. Oh yeah, I did see that I saw
Yep.
that on the gram. Yeah, congratulations on that, dude. That's a freaking rare Pokemon right there. 76.5 second place, and your winner, Weekend Warrior, round 7, final round. Tyler, let's go, dude.
Oh, look at that.
79.25. What the heck?
Jeez.
That is amazing, dude. To hit a 79-inch bag, I don't think Brett's done it a bunch of times, but to get past 75, 76, 78, dude, it's so hard to get to that 70. I'm gonna say like a good cutoff's like 77, but once you get to 78, it gets like 10 times harder. 79, 10 times harder. And to hit 80, dude, that's a Hail Mary miracle. But nice job, dude.
That's a
79.25. I think that is that the PB bag in Weekend Warriors this year. Either that or maybe Anthony had a big one like that.
Yeah, I think they both got 79 bags. But dude, to get that in Weekend Warriors, jeez.
Yeah, nice job, dude. Congratulations, Tyler. That is an amazing bag. 79.25. Congratulations. What bay did you guys fish in? I'm wondering. Nobody's typing that in here. Type in the gram or type in the chat what bays you guys were fishing in. Curious.
Dude, that's a huge spot he's holding. I thought that was the sand bass.
I don't know if this is during the round. I think this is, I don't know if they
huge.
sent me this profile pic, but yeah, that thing's freaking huge.
Yeah.
You can usually tell by the mouth. Like when your thumb, sometimes you can really long arm one, but if your thumb's bigger than his mouth, it doesn't look good. But that one legit looks huge.
I judge it off the knuckles, like when they're holding it by the mouth. Like you got to think like an average size person's hand knuckle width is like almost 4 inches. Like that's huge.
Yeah, their thumb's in there and the mouth is this big around and they got a little tight. Yeah, that's how you really judge it. All right, here we go. Angler of the Year for the Weekend Warriors LAOC. I can't stress to you enough how cool this is to get that. It just shows that you fished for the whole year. You're consistent. You had big bags, and it's hard to get that championship because you go to 1 versus 1, but it's really also hard to get Angler of the Year. So it's a major accomplishment. And your Angler of the Year for Weekend Warriors. Of course it is, Anthony. Let's go, Anthony. Congratulations,
Anthony.
dude. Nice job, dude.
He killed it, man.
I've been watching more and more of Anthony's videos. Anthony, I'm watching them. I'm enjoying them. Anthony doesn't do a lot of talking in them, but dude, if you just want to like chill and watch somebody that's talented at fishing, it's pretty cool, man. But check out his YouTube. Anthony, congratulations, dude. I think you're on your way to Masters now, dude. I think you've done all you can do in Weekend Warriors, dude. That's an amazing year, dude. At 78, 79, 77s, he threw it all out.
I don't know. Stay down in the Weekend Warrior.
No, hey, I want to make it as difficult as possible for guys like Brett. We need to see some names coming through here. More names, yeah. Come on up. Bring on the competition. All right, here we go. First round, Huntington Harbor. So you guys are first round Huntington. How do you feel about round 1, Huntington Harbor? Confident?
Well, with the new map now, where you can't fish out front, I mean that might discourage a lot of people. But
there's no discouraging it. That is where it's going to be. So that's it.
Yeah, Huntington's fickle, man. It can bite really good, and then it could be tough, man.
My worst Spotty Bowl round I've ever had in my life was Huntington, and it was a 1 fish day, 13.25, and I caught it in the first 35 minutes, and nothing after that for the whole. And I've tried to fish night. How are you on night fishing? And are you morning guy?
Yeah, I'm a day. I like day.
Morning or day?
Both. I'm a tide. I base it off of the tide. Like if it's a low tide in the afternoon, I'll fish the 1 to 8. But yeah, daytime, mostly morning though.
Mostly morning. There you go. Nick Livingston versus Blake. Round 1. You guys get together, figure out what day you're going to fish. So there's your round 1 face up right there. It's 2 versus 7. Oh, and by the way, in this division, congratulations, Anthony. The 1 seed gets a bye. So you get to cruise right to round 2. So Anthony, pre-fish, take the week off, chill, do whatever you do when you're not fishing. And the Angler of the Year, I guess big prize of that is you get a first round bye. So every division but short division. You don't get the bye in short division. Congratulations, Nick. Congratulations, Blake. You're on to your first round. Tyler versus Daniel. There you go. That's a big setup right there. Congratulations, guys, for making the playoffs, by the way. And there we go. Our 3 seed versus our 6 seed right there. Jared versus Mike Lee. Let's go. Mike Lee and Jared. Man, some good matchups, I think, in this year.
Yeah.
Jared, let's go, man. See him out there all the time. Mike Lee, congratulations. Both of you making playoffs. And here is your playoff bracket. Like I said, Anthony gets to go right to round 2, Newport. And Jared, Mike, Nick, Blake, and Tyler and Daniel. There you go. There is your Weekend Warrior bracket. You making any bets on these? We should get a fantasy league going.
I was about to say, yeah, are we doing any bracket busters?
Our judge is the one that does stuff like that. That'd be pretty funny. I know, like a Sweet 16 bracket on Spotty Bowl.
Who's gonna make that upset?
Yep. All right, here we go. This is what Brett's been waiting for. The Masters Division, round 7. You pick. I picked Newport. You picked Alamitos. You guys aren't typing in chat what you picked. Everybody's keeping it secret, but at this point, it really doesn't matter. But I guess we'll see what Fisher. We know Alamitos, you said, had good fishing. Newport, yeah, some guys that maybe did good, but some guys didn't do that good.
You underplay yourself so much, bro.
There you go. There's my score right there. Keith, John, Candelero, Daniel, Tyler. I don't know. You must have not fished this weekend. Jared Bretch with a 71.5. Brian Rosen with a 73. Mike Brown with a 73.5. And Brian likes to fish 74.25. And here we go. What are you doing on there?
I was looking at the screen. I was looking at the screen.
Oh, I can't get the score. I thought you were doing like some math or something like that. Davey says
no, I don't want to do Newport. This. So
finally, somebody has told me where they're fishing. Newport. Nara says Newport. So we got a couple people fishing Newport, it looks like. All right, here we go. Top 5. Nick, of course, 76.5. Let's go, Nick. Is this Nick's first year in Spotty Bowl or second? I can't remember.
This is his first year, but he's a stud. He knows what he's doing.
Nick jumped right into Masters where he should be and is slaying it, dude. Nice year this year, Nick. Congratulations, dude. 76. You throwing out those big bags.
Heck yeah.
4th place, of course. My guest last show was last crankbait show. Eric, let's go. Just been talking about you. Congratulations, Eric. 77.5, man. You guys, 77.5. Nice job. Coming in 3rd place. Oh, tie for 2nd. 78.25. Let's go. 78.25. Man, shit.
Nice bag.
Had a kind of a slow start, but he's sneaking in some big bags at the end here, huh? Anything could happen, I guess. 78.25 is a legit big bag. Chet, did you fish at night and did you fish Newport? Oh, here we go. Some more people. Nick Livingston saying Newport. That's it. Nobody else is saying what bay. So Chet, I bet he fished Newport. And I bet you it was at night.
He loves Newport.
He's a nighttime guy. All right. Tied for 2nd place. Look at who it is. This guy right here. 78.25. Man, it's a legit bag. So Alamitos was obviously good. Tell me a brief description of your day. 78-inch bag. I mean,
I don't know if I could do a brief description. It was good, dude. It was.
Was it like were you calling out like a lot of 15s?
Yeah. It was. It bit from the start. I did the 6 to 1, and it bit from 6 a.m. all the way till I got off the water at like 2, and it bit like it nonstop. I really didn't have any lulls, and I probably caught 50 fish. Probably 20, 25 of them were legal. I caught 2 sand bass that were 5 pounds each. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was good.
Why didn't I fish Alamitos? Can you remind me? Why didn't I fish Alamitos? Can you? What the heck?
I caught your favorite fish or shark, angel shark, on a crankbait.
Oh my gosh! Did you have the long pliers?
No, and I was so scared. It luckily just got hooked in the dude. It ate the crankbait. Either it ate the crankbait or I reeled it right into its mouth because I thought I was stuck on a rock. And then I pulled the line with my hand and it pulled back and I was like, what the heck? And I reeled it up and it was a freaking 50 to 60 pound angel shark. Oh. And it had the crankbait in its mouth, T-boned in its mouth.
Oh my gosh. On a float tube too. That's even worse.
Tube. Yeah. It took me forever to get the hook out, but it was after my session. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take my time. I got it out.
Dude, it's not getting out, but it's like keeping your hand far away from that mouth. Just because it looks like, dude, that thing can rake some damage on your hands. I don't know if you guys watched the previous show, but I have a pair of needle nose pliers that I bought that are about 1.5 feet long. just for that specific fish. Because this year, dude, I've been plagued with those stupid things. So
Yeah,
I can get
they're
get
mean.
that thing way away from me. All right, here we go. Masters, first place, round 7. We got a tie. What? Here we go. We got Davey
Oh, what the
Brown
heck?
and Cash both with a
Awesome.
78.5. Let's go. Congratulations. I think that is Davey Brown's first place in Masters. So guess what you get? Let's go, Davey Brown from Akuma. Yeah, you did it, man.
And Cash.
I don't know. I like that music for your first place. I'll make my tradition. Cash, you've got many first places. He's always getting first place. Davey Brown, I got to tell you, Brett, we got to watch out for this guy in the playoffs because last year, dude, he got hot at the same time, dude, and he ended up winning the Weekend Warriors division. He's been hot all year this year, really, though. But you let a guy like Davey Brown get hot, man, we better watch our backs, dude. Cash, congratulations on another first place. So add that plaque to your garage or your room or wherever you're keeping those things. But congratulations, Cash Slayer. Davey Brown, let's go. Keep that momentum going. All right, are you ready for your matchups here? Oh, first of all, we got to go for the Masters Angler of the Year. I mean, dude, that's like you're not only a Masters, but you've won Angler of the Year. So Masters is usually the best of the best. To me, Spotty Bowl brings out probably the best spotty anglers that I know of in LAOC. You guys are stacked up there. You got so many good anglers in LAOC. You guys are so lucky to have all those 4 or 5 bays, 6 bays maybe to fish, and a lot of good anglers come out there. So to win the Masters in LAOC, gotta be the best of the best. And your Masters 2027 Angler of the Year. Here he goes. Let's go, Brett.
Stoked.
Wow, congratulations, dude. Oh man, that is a huge accomplishment with the amount of slayers that have entered the Masters division nowadays. To do this again, Brett, man, it just proves, dude. Man. This proves, man, you got what it takes, man. Congratulations, dude.
You know what's crazy is there's still a ton of people up this way that aren't fishing this, and it's like, dude, bring it on. I want everybody to like come and do this. Like, bring it more competitive. We need more people. I know there's so many people out there that can do this, and it would just make it better for everybody, honestly.
Everybody on board. Where's your buddy James Collins at? Bring him in here. He fell out, man. What's going on here? Ben, your brother fell out. Let's bring some people, these old slayers, back. But
there's
yeah,
a lot
dude,
of people that aren't doing it. Yeah.
I know not everybody's like super competitive, but you don't have to be super competitive being Spotty Bowl. You can come in here and be chill and throw a 78-inch bag, you know?
It's for everybody. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody. And everybody in Spotty Bowl that I've ran into is super cool. Got a bunch of cool people, so don't be intimidated. Brett, congratulations, dude. That's like what, your second or third Angler of the Year now in 4 years? I don't
want to brag too much, but I've won all 4 of them.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't have to brag. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
That shows you, dude. You've gotten it down. I'm super stoked to have you on the show to spread all this knowledge too. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Round 1. Cash versus Jared. Let's go. Father, son.
There you go.
You guys gonna be at the dinner table with some awkward looks right now? Jared, turn it up, man. Let's see what you can do against the kid. Cash, man. Watch out, dude. He's always got the momentum, but Cash hasn't won a belt yet, but he won Bass Bowl, so I guess that's a championship. But
dude, he's right there, man.
Spotty Bowl, I don't know. He might be due, Brett. We'll see. So Jared, father, son, that's gonna be interesting. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Here we go. Mike Brown versus Nick. Oh man, it's a battle. Mike Brown versus Nick. That's a good one right there. Huntington Harbor. I think Nick's pretty good at Huntington. I don't know how Mike is at Huntington. I think he's pretty good too.
They both are, man. That's going to be a tough one. And they're both my buds, so it's like, oh, man.
I know. We don't want to see anybody get eliminated, but to be a champion, you got to knock some people out, dude. You know how it is. I hate knocking my friends out, but I've left a path behind me like you. Oh, I owed you for last year. You remember the year before that? It was me and you.
I know.
I've floated 100 times. I threw an 80-inch bag and still got eliminated. That was
You got me
devastating.
back. You got me back.
Got you back. But Mike Brown, Nick, let's go. Here we go. Eric, Davey Brown. Oh, battle. That's a good one. Both throwing
Tough
out
one
big
again.
Bags. All 77, 78. I'm excited for seeing how this all goes down. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Huntington Harbor. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
And you, being the angler of the year, dude, you get to kick back and chill for a week. You don't have to enter till round 2. And let's see what the bracket's gonna be here. So you're gonna be facing Mike Brown or Nick at Newport, the winner of that. And then Cash and Jared will whoever wins out will be facing either Eric or Davey. So
dang,
that's a tough bracket right there, dude. So I'm
man.
looking forward to this. Yeah, boat versus boat, says Chet. Mike Brown's in here. He just chimed in. Way to go, Cash and Davey. Yeah, Mike. All right. Well, that is it for the results. Pretty pumped up, pretty excited to see how this comes out. And let's go ahead and get onto this because I got to get this guy out of here because he's got a baby to go tend to, right?
She's sleeping.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Got a 15-inch fish or bigger, you'll be in Spotty Bowl Biggins automatically. I'm going to go through this pretty quick, guys, because we're already almost at 2 hours. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to put the chat on right now if you guys want to leave any last-minute questions. Daniel Scott, 15-inch even. Let's go. Fishing at night, obviously. Man, where's my sticker at? I don't see my sticker on there. Blake, 15 inches even. Yak Attack board. Those are always pretty sweet. Kind of, you just use a standard hog trough, like white bump board.
Yeah.
Blake, Yak Attack board. Man, nice picture, dude. I like how thumb position all good. Good job. Keyhand with a 15.5. It's got the death grip on that thing. Nice socks. Got the lucky socks going there. What do you bring out for snacks on the float tube? Do you bring anything or just wait till you get your car?
I have a pouch that I bring. I usually bring like little protein bars. And then lots of water. Lots of water.
Lots of water,
like,
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tara Wilson, 15.25. Let's go. Nice job taking the picture there. Let's see. It's something live. I see a bait back there. I don't know what that is. Something live.
Live target.
Oh, maybe. Daniel, the 16 from shore. Yeah, he's giving a hint. Oh, and that's probably the butt end of his fishing rod on. That looks like a chair almost. Maybe
He's
it's his
sitting and
rod.
fishing.
He's
Bait
leaning
and
his
wait.
rod against the wall or something.
He's using bait and he's waiting.
Vance Freeman, 16.25. Got the Hardy glove on. Hey, man. I don't blame you, dude. I got a gouge on my finger. You see that thing?
Jeez.
I know. It's a rough go with these fish, so I don't blame you, dude. Of gloves, I got nothing against that. Sweet job. Brian Rosen, 15.75. Dude, is that your technique too? The one finger, or are you the full like hold down?
I do the one finger if they're like super chill, but I do how do I this? I don't
Pinky?
know. I'd have to see what picture. I think I do like I don't know. Yeah.
We'll get to you don't even remember. Jared with a 15.5. Jared, why didn't you submit that in the Yak Attack side pot? You obviously would have won it. Man, I see a curly tail grub, it looks like. And is that a chatterbait, maybe? Chatterbait head on top of the yak bag? I think you probably can barely see it, but I think that's a chatterbait. Nice job.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, 15.25 on the new boat. New boat paying off. Look like I got them both on hookup baits. Nice job, Mike. Congratulations making it to the playoffs once again. Kevin Keller, 15.15 from shore. Sandy Beaches. No hints. Noah with a 17.25 from shore. Dang. Noah's got like looks like his Sharpie wasn't working or something. And he like rubbed it on his arm. Is that your like your battle paint or something right there, Noah? Nice job, dude.
That's a jumbo, dude.
Jumbo beast. It looks like it's all dark, like it's been hiding in a hole.
Yeah.
Nice job, dude.
Dang.
Joey with a 15 and a 17. So, I mean, look at all these 17s, dude. 17's like your 16 now. I think the 17 is the new 16. I don't know. I've seen a lot of 17s. Nice job, Joey. 17-inch fish right there. Man, I wish you guys would get Joey. I think you might have been able to make that to 17.25 too. You got that
That
tail.
tail was super fanned out.
Yeah, just that tail next time, Joey. I think you got a 17.25 out of that, but nice fish. Mike Lee with the right sticker. That's how you win Spotty Bowl. But with that sticker right there, I'll be cheering for you. 15-15. Taped up thumb. Brian likes to fish. 15-15-7-5. Couldn't get my big guys, so I'll take a 74. Nara with the 15.25, 15.75. Nara, man, way to come back, dude. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how they do that. Especially with kayak. I'd be afraid of that thing like just all of a sudden like having a seizure and gone. You know what I mean? Got it on some Fish Co jig, looks like. Nara, man. Let's go. Playoffs next year. You're due now. Nick Levinson, killer year. 16.75, 16.25. Man, it's nice when you catch 2.16s.
Yeah.
Up Bates looks like. Aaron, Carl Black, man. Carl, man, went from being able to catch 1 fish to 2 fish, now catching 3 biggins. Let's go. Carl, 16.25, 15.5, 15.5. Must be the new boat, eh?
Dang.
Looks
Nice
like you got maybe a neck breaker. I'm seeing some stuff there. Some kind of, I think that might be Fish Labs bait up in the top left over there.
I see some pliers.
Yeah, mechanic pliers. Let me go back. There they are. Let us know how long those last. I'm always curious. Seems like they last like 1 day when I take those out. Jared Marchbanks, 15.25, 15.5, 15.5. Let's go, Jared. Leaving me no hints except that he's fishing at night. Cash, here we go. 16, 16, 15. That's a stacked bag right there. 1 away from a full Biggins bag. Nice job.
Yeah.
Can't believe, Cash, you didn't submit Yak Attack. Nobody submitted that. I'm still shocked. Any fish would have won it, Brett. Any fish. An 8-inch spotty would have won it. You guys let that slip. Eric, 15, 16, 16, 15, 15. Eric, what bait did you fish? Curious. But Eric going into playoffs with some heat. I think he threw a 77 bag. Oh, he says those pliers are stainless. And Nick with the 15, 15, 16, 15, 15, blah, 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 with tons of biggins. Looks like Nick, your carpet looks like mine, dude. So when Spotty Bowl's over, we're going to need to clean our carpets on our boat. Probably Mike Brown, too. Anybody that's got carpet, dude? Oh, God, it's a mess right now, dude. Let me just tell you, Brett. And I hear you take shaving cream and like a drill with a rotary brush and just...
You just got to take the time to peel it all off and then put on some of that EVA foam that you get on Amazon.
C-Deck?
Yeah, you can get
that,
cheap.
right? Dude, right next to Fastlane Kayak Center, they have a place that does that like professionally. We'll install it, and you take your boat there, and they'll like do like a laser, like I don't know how they do. They put something on there, and it'll design it. You can put logos on it, and it'll cut specifically for all your hatches and everything perfectly. I don't want to give them a shout out, but there's ways you can do that where it looks killer.
Yeah.
Chet, 16.5, 16.5. Man, Chet, let's go, dude.
Jeez.
Come on, dude. No clues, but there's a 360 drive at night. Man, I don't know. I might have to try night. Wow, look at this, Tyler. 16, 16, 15, 75, 15, 15. Man, you guys, dude. Crazy bags. Nice job, dude. Not a lot of hints on there. It's got some cool deck boots. Anthony, 15, 15, 15, 15. Man, I remember when somebody would catch 2 biggins. You're like, wow, dude, that's a crazy bag. Now it's 5. Anthony, great year, man. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations on the angle of the year. Davey Brown, look at this guy. 15, 15, 6 biggins showing off. Got the extra kicker. 16, 7, 5, and a 16, dude. That's a nice kickers right there. And he said he fished neutral. That's crazy. Nice job, Dave.
Good for him.
And you know how big his head's going to get if he wins Masters? We're going to have a problem getting him to the award ceremony. Or getting him away from the award ceremony. What am I saying? Let's go, Davey. I'm cheering for all you guys. I'm stoked for whoever wins it. Hey, here we go. The champ, Brett Wilson. 15-50. How many did you catch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, dude. And was there more 15s you didn't even pay?
Yeah, it was good, dude. Yeah. I caught so many fish that day.
Oh, did you?
It was
Oh,
crazy,
look at that
dude.
smile, dude. Dang, dude. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. And that's, like I said, did you catch more you didn't take pictures of? Like your 15's like, yeah.
There's a lot I just threw back. I was like, oh, I can't do anything with these. 15s, 14.75s, just throw them back.
Nice bag, dude. Nice day, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And biggest fish goes to Noah. Let's go, Noah. 17.25. That's the new 16. Congratulations, Noah. Big fish. And that
Big
is
fish.
it for Biggins. Brett, 2 hours, dude. You crankbait guys can talk. You look tired, dude. You got to wake up early for work?
Yeah, well, I go to the gym before I go to work. I wake up at like 4:30.
Oh, yeah. All right. So you got to get at the gym at 5
I
a.m.
can't just drink these things all night.
I'm right there with you, dude. Well, Brett, I appreciate all of your knowledge at the beginning of the show. I can't wait to have you on here again. Maybe we'll get you on here near the end of the playoffs or something like that. But congratulations on the end of the year. Congratulations on your bye where you get to just chill. You get to bypass Huntington Harbor, which is probably pretty exciting. I know I'd be excited.
Thank you.
You get straight to, what is it, Newport and Marina Del Rey? How's your Marina Del Rey game?
Love Marina Del Rey.
Oh, here we go. You better watch out because I know Eric loves Marina Del Rey. So
He does.
man, and I don't know. I think he's probably the one because when we had the you pick me, and I should have picked Marina Del Rey. What was I thinking with Newport, Brett?
That's a far drive for you though, man.
Dude, I just stay the night in my truck when I go up there. I literally sleep in my truck. Yeah. When I go to Marina Del Rey, I sleep in my truck. I get there at about 9 or 10, go to sleep, and then wake up, fish, and drive home. Yeah. Because it's like it's about a 3-hour drive, so it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that drive home's got to be brutal.
I would take more questions, but I'll let this guy go. Brett, any last words you want to share with these Spotty Bowlers? Somebody that's experienced in playoffs as you. Any words of advice going into these playoffs for these guys?
I just want to first say I just want to thank my wife. She's the rock. She's letting me do all this stuff. We brought our new daughter into the world, and at the end of the year, or at the end of last year, and I thought it was really gonna limit my fishing time, but she's let me do so much, even with having a newborn, or not a newborn, but a baby. So I just want to thank her. I love her so much. And then for all you spotty bowlers, just spotty fishermen in general, just you got to put time in on the water. Like the more you fish, the more you're going to learn, and you can share stuff with other people, but just always soak it in yourself and listen to everybody. Just always keep learning, soak it all up, be a sponge, and just take information from everybody. Because if you limit yourself on certain things, you're never going to gain. But if you just take information from everybody, you're just going to gain so much knowledge. So just listen to everybody, take in what you can, and then apply it to the way that you want to fish it. Because I'm sitting here telling you guys this stuff, but I learned it from people. So I've learned it from people like Eric Bent and my tournament partner Keith and you and all these people that have been fishing long before me. But you just tone it into a way that fits you, and then you pass it on to the next generation. So just always keep fishing. Just get out there as much as you can.
Great advice. I think everything you just wrapped up. So just watch this show. Here you go. I have all these guys on here. Brett, you're awesome, dude. Thanks again. Me and Brett are going to be out there every week like we do. We're going to be out snagging grass and catching bass. And I will see you guys on the next one. Later. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out for 2 hours.